and the ancestors are looking out for us. Todd Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flown lekker.
Young
Peace.
TV.
Hit that like.
Yo, we got Faise One backstage, y'all. They want to play games. They know what they're doing. Can you hear me now? We got Faise One backstage, ladies and gentlemen. You want to hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let's do this. Mic check, 1, 2. Coming through. We all love. They don't understand it. They don't understand it. They can hate us, but we still love them. They don't understand it. Hey, we divine love. We that green light, baby. They don't know why. They don't know why. They want to hate on us. Hey, like I said, we got Faise backstage. Buddy, you ready to bring them out? Where you at? Colin, where you at? Memphis, where you at? St. Louis, Detroit, New York, Brooklyn, Harlem, in the building. Where you at? Who we got in the building, man? Portland, Oregon. Wow, I've been to Portland. We got Cincinnati, Nat Town, Houston in the building, Orlando. Where you at? We got New Jersey, Mississippi. What part of Mississippi? Jackson. Shout out Jackson, Mississippi. Chicago. What's that? Minnesota, Maryland, Boston. Oh yeah, shout out Boston, man. They still hard up in Boston. They don't like Negroes in Boston still. Some parts. Atlanta. Shout out ATL, man. We posted in the A right now, man. Columbus, Georgia. Los Angeles. Shout out Los Angeles. Shout out Memphis to Chicago. You heard me? Shout out Louisiana, New Orleans, NO, BR. You heard me? Michigan, Pontiac. Shout out Pontiac, Michigan. Shout out Chief Pontiac, Raw Hayes. You heard me? Shout out who that is? Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yeah, I heard about Grand Rapids. The cops out there bad, ain't it? The cops is rough out there. Hey, shout out Little Rock. Shout out Maryland. London in the building. Colorado Springs. Where you at? Palm Springs, California. We're going to have to hit you up when we come down to get in Cali, man. Palm Springs. Like I say, we got Phase One backstage, y'all. We warming up the stage. Shout out Tampa in the building. We're about to be going on tour, y'all. So y'all gonna be looking us up. Me and Phase gonna be on tour. 9 Guard ENT. Shout out Izzy. You heard me? New York Izzy. We got a couple artists we're gonna be putting down, some R&B, you know what I'm saying? Some rap, but not that rap crap. We're gonna change the whole game, man. It's gonna be a little gangster into it, a little, you know what I'm saying, but it's gonna be the good right knowledge. Shout out St. Louis in the building, Missouri. Shout out Kansas. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not in Kansas anymore. We're on Pandora in the building. Let's see. LeBro usually come in about 10 minutes while we in, because I gotta warm up the stage. So tonight we're gonna be talking about psychic warfare and psychic self-defense and how to defend yourself from people who might want to infiltrate your space, your mental space. Now keep in mind, the key word here is psychic. And the word psych means to trick. So keep that in mind when you're talking about the word psychic. And people always want to play tricks on your mind, which is why Jay Prince was involved with the Ghetto Boys and Scarface and them, and they came out with a song called "My Mind Is Playing Tricks on Me." I think Tupac's on that song. My mind is playing tricks on me. You know what I'm saying? So is your mind playing tricks on you, or is these principalities, or is these minds? Because you got to keep in mind, the brain can send off a signal, and it can receive signals. The brain can send off a signal and receive signals. So can your brain, say somebody send a signal to your brain, right? Mark Brady used to talk about this computer system that they got, Ash Star Command guy. We're going to be doing one on Ash Star Command because there's a lot of people out here seem like they lost on Ash Star Command and thinking that Ash Star Command is good guys. Hey, now coming to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Phase One. Phase One, ladies and gentlemen. The hottest.
Robert, what's up?
Robert. Hey, before we get started, because I forgot, let me do that book announcement. I got the flyer right here because we've been missing that for the last two. We dropped it, but it's like in the middle or after. We're going to get in the front while people tuned in. Let me show y'all this flyer we got for y'all. Now, Phase One got 10 books that he wrote, and he's on his 11th book right now. Should be out soon. Stay tuned for that. Right, then maybe going to 12. Matter of fact, it's a couple books probably gonna drop at one time once we get this other program up and running. But right now we got 10 books out. Right, if you want to get those books, what you would do is you would send them any amount of donation to Play for a Change. You see the cash out right there. You would leave your emails in the little link description. Make sure you leave your emails if you want the books, and you would send that donation over to that cash out, leave the emails and the links, and he'll send the books right over. So we want to make that quick announcement before we get started. Now, this is about to be a good one. This is about to be a good one. All right, let me stop this right here. Hey, Phase. Now, everybody been waiting on this one, man. This is they want to know how to defend this. They tired of getting whooped, man. People tired of getting beat on mentally. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, where you want to start at? You want to take a question, or how you want to do it?
Y'all could let's start out with some questions. And then we get into the bill. Let's open up Q&A.
All right. So, hey,
you guys start with yours, and then you can watch out for theirs.
Okay, I guess I'll start with my question. All right, so the first question is, what is psychic self-defense? What is it? Go ahead.
Okay. When the first thing we need to keep in mind when we're saying psychic defense or psychic self-defense, there's different ways people say it. Psychic defense or psychic self-defense or guarding your mind or whatever you want to call it. Keep in mind when you're saying psychic self-defense, you're putting that self word there. It's dealing with the auto, the self, the you, the version of you that you come to know or the version of you that you may not be in tune with yet. So you may think psychic defense or psychic self-defense only deals with protecting yourself from other beings or protecting yourself from pending attacks. The basics or basis of psychic self-defense is protecting yourself from yourself. You understand? And keep in mind the key word there is also psychic. When you're saying a psychic, you're saying dealing with the mind. And if you're dealing with the mind, then this isn't just something that's happening outside of you. This is something that is a part of you. It's something that you will be dealing with and have been dealing with from your zero time reference up until the point where you leave this earth plane as the being that you are now. It is the self, it is the conscious epiphenomenon that says, I am a living being or a living soul. Interestingly enough, in chapter 7, the living soul, El Hay, of the Holy Tablets, Malachi York speaks about it, where he goes into what it takes to actually come into more grips of who and what the self is, learning about the self, like they put in the TV show Man Who Fell to Earth. All right, learning about that nessa or what that self is, and how partnered with that knowledge of self comes another gem that you take with you throughout your whole life, and you can use it. Like I say, I'm not teaching some doctrine. I'm teaching people how to learn. I'm teaching people how to read. You know what I'm saying? How to speak, elite, not what to say, not what to learn, not what to read. You understand? I'm teaching people that once you learn these abilities and start taking them in as your own, you will be able to navigate in this realm with those tools. The tool that comes with self-awareness is your ability to discern. Are you with me? Why is that important? In my book, Out of the Darkness, I broke down Faise One, okay, which was Sheikh Dawood Faise One, the master who brought Malachi York up under his wing when he was like 12 years old and started him on that walk of Islam and the esoteric Islam. You understand? Started explaining to him the higher sciences to the point where he was able to grasp them and start going out and teaching them. So the first teacher for Malachi was Sheikh Dawood Faise One. Faise One, listen to the word, right? I was just laughing with my dad the other day about how in the book I explained, the first shall be last, last shall be first. Because I'm given a name at age 13. Literally, there was a brother, I explained this, a brother who came to me in an all-white suit with an afro in my dream, which I say was a vision, and explained to me, your name is Faise One. And I thought it to be spelled P-H-A-S-E, the same way everybody spelled it. But when it came time for me to grab the pen and write down what was being said to me, I started to write out an acronym, F-A-I-S-E-O-N-E, which stands for Forever and Inspiration, Seeking Eternity, Omari Never Ends, which means that every time you say Faise One, you're ultimately still speaking of Omari. You understand? Which that I hear Omari in there, as if you don't know, Faise One was set out to protect Omari, because Omari is that divine love weapon that will be released on the world. You understand? If you can understand what I'm saying. So Faise One, Faise L, is a word that means to separate. You understand? To take one thing and separate it from another. Okay? When you go look up what the etymology of discern is, you get de or da, ser, ne, re. Okay? Discernere. And it is a word that means to separate. Are you with me? So a part of learning with your self-awareness, that gem of discernment, isn't just to say when you're discerning a thing, you're figuring out what it is. You're also figuring out what it isn't. And he broke that down in the Holy Tablets. He said, when you're saying not this, he's saying you also are able to see what it is in order to differentiate between what it is and what it isn't. Are you with me? You have a negative and a positive self. You have a left and a right self. You have that angel and that demon that sits on your shoulders. You have that yin and you have that yang. You have that cherub or that cherubim and that seraphim. You understand, of the self. Your discernment of the self comes with that self-awareness to say that before you point the finger and say that there's a demon coming to attack you, who opened the door? Before you get upset about what Dracula is doing in your house, who opened the door? You understand? Now, you have people that could be around you that could be door openers or gatekeepers. We spoke about that. And we also spoke about the fact that Dracula is allowed in because you allow Dracula in. But that is a science that people should look deeper into. You understand? Because if you're dealing with a parasite, the parasite didn't create the environment for itself to live in. You did. If you're dealing with a demon in your home, the demon didn't create the environment that was conducive for it. You did. Are you with me? So psychic self-defense is first coming to grips with the fact that you have control first over all of your actions. That's why we talk, you have the power over all things. It doesn't mean that you control everything. It means that you have the power over all things. You have person, place, and thing. 1, 2, 3. Person, place, and thing. You understand? You are a person in a place doing things. You call yourself a human being, which encompasses all of them. You understand? So when you look at that and say, the things, the events that are happening in my life, I as a being, a human being, all right, have the ability to reign over all of them. Are you with me? I have the power over all of these things. The things that I do, the things that I speak, the things that I think, all of that comes into play. I have power over that. So if something is happening in my life, it doesn't mean that it's always that you caused it. However, most of the time, you open the door and you don't know why. You know what I'm saying? You open the door. You may not know when you open the door, but you did open that door. And unless you're able to go to that point, okay, and close that door or usher out whatever it is and then close that door, then it may stay in the environment that is being conducive for whatever or whoever that being is. You understand? So psychic self-defense and psychic defense all together is speaking about first knowing who and what you are, coming to grips with it. If you could call somebody else a devil, they're a reflection of who you could have been, like I've talked before. Okay, a murderer is somebody who was a being like you that took on the action of murder. You understand? And then the is put there to say that they're the one who did it. You know what I'm saying? A rapper is somebody who can rap. You know what I mean? And raps. You know what I'm saying? A singer is somebody who can sing and sings. A practitioner is somebody who practices over and over again, whatever the art is or craft is that they're practicing. Okay, so if you can look at somebody and call them a thing, you have the same potential to be that. Does that mean you can't call them out to be that? No, you can still call them out to be that. It's just that where do you stand? Do you stand in the authority or in the lack thereof? The lack thereof says you're calling them that, thinking that you can judge or condemn them without understanding that you are only one action away from being exactly that. Are you understanding? So any being or demon or spirit or angel or whoever that you come in contact with, all right, what allowed for them to be able to contact you? If I get young elder number and I call you, okay, I got your number. Okay, how did I get your number? Did you give me a number? So if you give me a number and you complain to somebody and say, this man keep calling me, you gave me a number. You know what I mean? Now, if you don't want me to have your number anymore, what do? You set up blocks. You block my number. Are you with me? And then if I go through different channels, because once you block, what do? They go through different channels. Then you might got to block more numbers than you were ready to block. You understand? Now, you might deal with a demon that might be very, very, very persistent. And they may get a number every time you block. Okay, do you have that block or defense already set up? Are you prepared to do that? Now, when we play Mortal Kombat, what you say? You block. Now, it takes more than blocking. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to go to other preventative measures and say that you have to make sure that nobody that you didn't give permission can message you. Or nobody that you didn't give permission to, right? Or, you know what I'm saying, can reach out to you or text you or call you. You have to go beyond just putting a block on somebody's number. You understand? If you think that blocking is enough or just the defense alone is enough, that's another thing. You say psychic self-defense. You think defending yourself is enough and you don't get active. If you play Mortal Kombat, for all the people who play that game, you think the motherfucker who gonna hold the block button finna win? No, because every time they get hit, they're still losing a little bit of their life. Now, if you're still in that same spot and this demon keep returning, you know what I'm saying? You got a problem. So what you ultimately may have to do is do what? Change your number. Okay? The number that you gave out was the problem to begin with. So you may have to change your number. I don't want to change my number. Well, then you may have to continue to deal with that being until you accept that it is you who has the power over all things. So your psychic self-defense is to realize that you are the one first who can harm the self or harm yourself. You are the one first who can open up the doors for other people to be able to harm you, whether you knew it or didn't know it. Are you with me? So that's the answer to that question. Psychic self-defense deals with literally first the self, and then you get into the other abilities that you'll have to defend yourself against others, ideas, philosophies, beings, whatever. But it starts with you.
Hey, so somebody come to you and they use words and they real crafty and they send hate energy towards you in the words they say. Now, as far as psychic defense go, how do you defend yourself? Because people say sticks and stones may hurt their bone, may break their bones or whatever, and words would never hurt them. But words do hurt.
Right.
Motherfuckers say the right shit and they know how to know some shit and they get under your skin. Right. I feel my motherfuckers like they know you and they say something and you be like, damn, it could be the universe using them. They might say some shit and you like, damn, how the fuck they knew that? You know what I'm saying? But it cut you. But it cut you when they said it, right?
Yep.
How do you defend yourself? Like, or you ain't gonna be shit, or you ain't gonna be shit when you grow up. This type of mentality, yeah, like people put on you. How do you psychically defend yourself from that type of attack, psychic attack?
The first thing you can do is what I just did when you said it. You can laugh. Because if anybody was to say that to me, I would laugh. I wouldn't have no choice but to. It's actually comedy. And I would do my best to show them like the different stand-up joints in their community, in their town. Like, you got the Improv, you got, you know what I'm saying, different places to laugh, whatever the fuck they call it. I'll point them in the direction of where you should be doing stand-up. If you can say, I'm not going to be shit, laugh. Because that's a fucking joke. However, it may not be that simple for everybody at all times. So sometimes you have to do the harder things. If it's your mama telling you, or your father telling you, or your brother telling you, or your cousin telling you, somebody that you hold close to yourself, it ain't that easy to just be like, ha, 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 you funny, especially if it's somebody that you trust. You understand? So for those people, if you hear my voice, or if they ever found it, the information I'm saying, you have to do the harder work. And that harder work, it involves detachment. You understand? Or it involves something that we thought was just so silly as a child, or just some stuff that we could just say as children, all right? May not even understood. It was an affirmation. It was an affirmation. We say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words could never harm me. That is an affirmation. It's also started off with the rhyme, which lets you know that it's dealing with the vocab or the invocation that I spoke to you about. You know what I'm saying? So you have an affirmation, knowing that it rhymes, you're operating as somebody who can speak with command and say, this will not be. Words cannot harm me. But why would you say that? You didn't just come out and just say it for nothing. It's just somebody say, yo, man, you a little fat kid. Yo, sticks and stone may hurt my bones, but words can never harm me. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you slow. Sticks and stone may hurt my bones, words can never harm me. You said it to counteract whatever was being sent your way. So sometimes people need affirmations. Another word that is used in the Christian faith is you have to be able to rebuke some shit that somebody done said. You know what I'm saying? You can have people that are in your life that can rebuke it. You can tell your pastor, my mama said I ain't gonna be shit. I rebuke it. You feel what I'm saying? Immediately you start getting hyped. You say, shit, we rebuke mama then. You know what I'm saying? Or my dad told me, or my friend told me, we rebuke this. You know what I'm saying? You get a congregation of people coming together and say, no, we speaking life over you. You feel what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to do the harder work, and that harder work is detachment. You're gonna have to cut off and let go the people who, like, just for lack of better words, don't believe in you. Or you have to cut off and let go anybody that wants to continuously try to harm you with words. Remember one of the songs would say, I won't harm you with words from my mouth. Words can hurt. You know what I'm saying? You ever listen, when people go through a heartbreak, they're really feeling that. There's really energy that is painful. You understand? Moving around, you got to squeeze certain things out of you. And then you still got the memory, so there's this residue. And it's real. So you can say something to somebody that literally hurts them because whatever you said to them was such a shock that it causes their brain to release all of these chemicals in their heart or whatever to respond, however it respond, that it literally, you can say something to somebody that kills them. You understand? Sometimes we say you died of a broken heart. Somebody could say something to somebody that causes them so much heart pain, all right, or so much chest pain that it literally kills them. You feel what I'm saying? So the way to protect yourself from it is, for one, you can laugh the shit off, okay? You can immediately, as soon as somebody says some bullshit to you or give their opinion, like I have a platform like the Brother Young Elder. Sometimes I'm sure you get the comments, I get the comments. You can see there's always some bullshitter or some troller that's thinking what they saying is mattering. You feel what I'm saying? Let me tell you what my Umi told me to do. My Umi told me, said, yo, I had to be 7 years old. She said, you need to be like you got on a white suit. She said, this should be your life. You have on a fresh ass white suit and everybody's opinions is like people walking up to you with jam on their hands. And she said, and you don't want jam on your fresh ass white suit. So don't let nobody touch you. She told me that at 7. She may not know that shit, but to this day, that's the reason why motherfuckers got a problem with me. Because my mama told me when I was 7, all right, that don't let nobody touch you with their jam hand as opinions. Yeah, this is psychic. My Umi was helping me build this. She also told me, she said, the world revolves around you. I remember the first teacher that told me that it didn't. I had a challenge for her. She said, the world don't revolve around you, Amari. I was in 1st grade. She said, the world don't revolve around you, Amari. I said, my mama told me the world do revolve around me. You know what I'm saying? And she went into her, your mama only got 8 children. I deal with 13. My mama came up there and shut that whole shit down. She said, I teach this one. I don't know what everybody else parents teach. I teach this one the world revolve around him. You feel what I'm saying? So if you don't have it, that people have already bred these things into you, then family, you got to use them affirmations, or you got to use the religions that have already been powered and charged with whatever the affirmations are, the people that put in position to speak life over you and to cast out demons and to pray for you and warriors and all that. You have to utilize what's already at your grasp. You feel what I'm saying? So fight by laughter, fight by affirmations, fight by rebuking, fight by detaching and letting people go that don't understand where you're coming from, all right, or have anything negative to say about you. You don't have to tolerate it. Now, you have the right to still deal with people, okay? The same way you got the right to still eat foods as you know ain't healthy. We got the right to let Dracula in through the door. You have the right to do all of this. You understand? But if you want to make it be that these words can't touch you, you feel what I'm saying? Then you got to deal with it. And another thing that you think about is, because even with me, getting to that point, you still have to be cautious about certain things that could trigger you. You feel what I'm saying? If somebody could say something and it does have some type of effect or hurt, then that means that there may be some type of truth to it. That's what it comes all the way back around to the self. You feel what I'm saying? If you know you got these issues and somebody call out that issue, it ain't necessarily that they attacking you in that way then. They may think they're attacking you, but how about you use this as fuel? You feel what I'm saying? I've been like that before. They called me broke before. They was right. I didn't have no finances. Okay. I didn't get offended by it. I was actually curious as to why they would use it as an attack. You feel what I'm saying? But it just shows you should use it like that to see, damn, if this person really thought that you was down and out, what would they say about you? If you had no psychic self-defense, what would they say about you? If you had no way to defend yourself against these comments and these opinions, you would be down and out. So then you owe it to yourself to, if you need to, envision another version of yourself. This is something that I do. All right? If somebody throwing these words at you, envision another version of yourself that's able to take anything. You feel what I'm saying? And you could be a green version, give it a color, whatever. Give it a high resonating color. Put it in front of you. So every time somebody says some bullshit, it's like the goaltending and blocking. You feel what I'm saying? So that it can't get to you. So for those people who have those struggles, learn to detach, learn to laugh some shit off, and learn affirmations. You don't have to use the same affirmation that everybody uses, but here's a formula that I can give you, and it also ties into your psychic self-defense. Law of attraction, LOA, okay, plus law of assumption equals affirmation, okay? Because we use these affirmations, there's a formula to help you understand what that affirmation is composed of. So you have your law of attraction, okay, which you'll be able to discern what the law of attraction is because it deals with the polarity of the law of repulsion. Are you with me? If you're attracting something, you're also repelling something else. That's how magnetism works, okay? So you have your law of attraction, so I want to pull this thing to me, okay? Which means that that thing already exists, all right? If you say, I want this new car, I'm going to pull this thing to me. Then whatever your methods are to get it, your whole intention that is made or proposed to the universe is that this thing will have to come to you, because when you pull that north pole of the magnet to the south pole of the magnet, they're going to attract. Are you with me? So you have to learn what the opposite of the thing is, which will be what? If you have the thing, then you have to know what it means to not have the thing. Okay, once you discern the law of attraction from the law of repulsion, and you know that you don't want to not have the thing, okay? So you start thinking about the want that you have the thing, and it comes to you. Then you start assuming, that's the law of assumption, that because you had it in your mind to want the thing, which means it already existed, then this thing must already be a part of your reality. All you're asking it to do from that point on is to manifest from the mental plane to come into the material plane. That's all you're asking it to do. And it will show up on your timeline or your time sphere as an object or an event if you want it, or a connection. Go ahead. Knock it out.
Man, what you saying is true. Now you just broke down some shit that I've been telling, like somebody was teaching me. It was like when I lose my keys, they used to always say keys come to me. Like imagine the keys coming to you. And then as soon as I do that, I find the keys. Or if I lost something, just imagine it coming to you. And like use your magnetic energy. So that shit, that's really real. You just broke it down on how it's working with the magnetic pull to using the mental plane. That's interesting. Yeah.
So that goes into your psychic defense or your psychic self-defense also. Because if you're attracting defense, okay, or your ability to repel something, that's what a defense ultimately is. There's an attack and then there's a defense. Okay, then you got the counteracting of the attack, which is a whole different side to it. But you don't want it to land. You want it to repel. You don't want to bring this to you for it to stick. This opinion doesn't stick. You want to repel it. This is your psychic self-defense. Okay, and you're already assuming at that point that this is key. If you have the ability to protect and defend yourself, okay, which you do, and you are a part of a universe that operates the same way that your literal brain does. Are you with me? It forms galaxies like neurons and synapses and all this other. Then you know that you are connected, like we learned in Americas, with this universe. So if you have the ability to protect yourself, then ultimately that which is greater than what you may even be able to perceive at this moment says you are protected. Because if you can protect yourself, listen, if I'm playing with Johnny Cage and I press square, triangle, X up and down, and it does that move, it was already done. Somebody already programmed that move into the game. I didn't do anything that didn't already exist in the game. So if you're able to protect yourself, you're already protected. This is the assumption where people say, yo, I fear for the motherfucker that try to put their hands on me. You touch that, yo, you shall not touch my anointing. You feel what I'm saying?
I wish a nigga would.
At that point, that has the formula of LOA. Are you with me? Law of attraction, law of assumption. They're attracting that godly protective energy, and they also assuming. And I'm telling you, I got that assumption shit down pat. I assume that a motherfucker must have lost their mind. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes we pray for the motherfuckers who gonna try. Just because
I wish a nigga would, like a large cat,
to touch this amount of anointing and appointing. Are you with me? So I just wanted to lay out that formula for you, for the people that are still looking into like the basics of it, because you're already defended. You're already protected. All you're doing is bringing your what? Psyche, which is your mind, to it. And the all is mind, and the universe is mental. Okay, well then this being of the divine, that is this universal God gene equipped concept that some people who have that God gene active are able to understand more than others. Okay, it's already, God is already protecting you. It's the moment that you step out of the bounds that it's like you don't have that protection. This is why you have to relearn psychic self-defense, because that means you want to defend something at that point, other than just having that faith and letting it be powerful enough. You're full of that faith that you're already protected. You feel what I'm saying? That's when you surrender to what's referred to as the will of the divine, or the Mashiach of the divine. Okay? So just keep that in mind. That formula of LOA plus LOA equals your affirmation. Because every time you speak an affirmation, you're not only, it's like the prayers, but it's also more of a command to say that this will be a thing. I affirm this. Okay, it's right next to that confirm. And if you hear affirmation, the key word there to remember is firm. You don't sway. You know what I'm saying? You don't move with the wind. Your affirmation doesn't, you're not going to affirm abundance, okay, just because you already have abundance around you visibly. You're not going to affirm that you get over some shit just because you already got over it, or you got somebody already here helping you get over it. No, you're not going to affirm therapy just because you already going to the office. Okay? You're affirming something, saying that this is what I already say is going to be.
Right.
Okay, now here's the other key. If you saying that it's going to be, let's go back to that Johnny Cage equation where I say you use this for this combo. If you can already affirm that it's going to be a thing, then it's already a thing. Kun, fia kun, or kun, fia kun. Be, and it is. You understand? So if you say be and it is, guess what? That it is important. So mote it be. That's only you coming out of the darkness into the light, or bringing that object out of the darkness into the light. Are you understanding?
Yeah, I got another question for you to go along with that.
Let's do it.
All right, so they say we got keywords, like, and they when they're doing this mind control and things of that nature, right? And they could program your mind to do something, and then it'll be activated off one keyword. Now I noticed, like, I wrote this in my Ascension manual about the keywords, like I need, the word need. The word need is a psychological word. If somebody put, it's like, it can put different, it can make you feel different type of ways mentally when somebody's come to you with I need. Now, before I ask the question, it was this dude, this old man that had this young girl, and the dude, some other dude, a younger dude, took the girl from the old man. And the old man said that he wasn't worried about it. He could have her because her name is I need her, right? I need my hair. I need this. I needed this, right? So he said she's a psycho. You ain't got no psychic defense from her because of that I need. Once you attach yourself to someone, psychologically and etherically, when they come up with the I need, that put pressure on you if you can't provide that I need. So how do you deal with it? How do you deal with things like that? Like people putting key words on you and they create pressure mentally for you.
Okay,
you know?
So the first thing is like it's need, it's want. It goes into what is present for you in the material plane versus what is present for you in the mental plane. Do you have any problem going to the grocery store? No. Even if you got to walk, you can get there. If you got to catch the bus, you can get there. If you got to get in your car or skateboard or skate there, you can get there. If you want to roll there or crawl there, you will make it to the grocery store eventually. The moment that you open up your refrigerator and say, we need food, it's not saying that you're cursing yourself. It's not saying that this word is a word of limitation. It's saying that you have an idea of what you need or what needs to be there in the material plane present for you, or what you refer to as tangible. All right? Okay, so then if it's not tangible, then what do you need to do? Okay, so let's say we need oranges. Let's say we want to make some orange juice. We want to make some homemade orange juice. We go in the fridge. We don't have any oranges. I won't open up the fridge and say, I have oranges. No, I don't. They're not there. Are you understanding? Watch what I'm telling you. I'm giving you another thing that can liberate people from thinking that you can really just curse yourself because somebody said that you're cursing yourself. It depends on how you look at it and how you maneuver. So if I say I need oranges, okay, the only way this will be a problem is I had no way to get the oranges. The knowing that you need it is to say that you need to pull this from the mental plane to the material plane. I need oranges. Then you have to ask questions. Where will I get the oranges from? Sometimes you know the answer. The grocery store. My grandmother got some down the street. You know what I'm saying? I can order some offline, whatever. Wherever you're going to go to get the oranges, you have the ability to go. So you go get them. Then you pour them into the kitchen. What just happened? You took the oranges literally from the mental plane into the material plane. You took what was an idea and you formed it as a thing through your actions. Are you with me? So the reason why people are saying you shouldn't say you need is because most of the time they're speaking about money, which is always a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you can have what you need already. People say we need more. You always need more money, or you always need something more expensive. It starts to get into I need a mansion. None of this is inaccessible. None of these things are inaccessible for people because there's always some piece of information that you're one step away from to be able to grasp that. And once you get the information, now you can go to the next level. You understand? If you want to get a mansion and you live in an apartment, you can get that. All you need is the next piece of information. If that information is you need to get off your ass and grind for the next 2 years, then you need to do that. You may not like that information, but that's what it requires. Are you with me? So what you do is you deal with the fact that if I've said it, people have said it, I've said I need this. I didn't deal with it from a state of lack. So those are the two places you can deal with it from. You can be like, damn, I need some money. All right, that goes into the next thought. The next thought is a thread. I don't have money. Damn, I can't get no money. Damn, this job ain't paying me enough. You start going into negative. You understand? And then the next thing you know, your whole realm looks this way. Because that's what you were pulling into the material plane. All of this abstract, I don't have shit had to take on some type of form as a thing, as an event, as something that was happening in front of you in the material plane. Or you can say, damn, I need me some money. Okay, you don't got to keep saying that. You get what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, you only vocalized it to bring it out of the throat, okay, which was to help you with your visualization. And you're going to look up what the Vishuddha is, the Vishuddha, okay? You're dealing with the throat. You have to know that to be able to speak it. You speak it, okay, it forms the sound. You don't have to keep saying it. You can resort to your visualization and bring that sound to an image, okay? And bring that image to nativity. That's where you get into imagination, image, nation. Imagination. The image is just the most discrete unit of whatever the thing is. Okay? Because if I say imagine a water bottle, okay, put an image to a water bottle. There you go. It's in your head. Some of y'all see different things, but it's right there. If I told you use your imagination, okay, and imagine that with your imagination, you're pouring that water out on the sidewalk. Now you're bringing that thing to life. Then I say, go and take that same image, which is the water bottle, the most discrete thing you could have had as the image of the water bottle, Go and get that water bottle that you saw in your brain and go pour it out on the sidewalk. Now you're bringing that idea to life. Okay, I need money. Then you have to go into how I'm going to get it. What can I do? I can go outside. I can buy a pack of waters for $3.24. It's 24 in that motherfucker. Okay, I can sell each of these waters for $1. I done profited damn near $21. I can take $3 more to go reinvest, get some more, and stand my ass on that corner again. Or whatever you do, but you ain't say, I need some money. I don't got no money. I'm tired of this job. I hate this shit. These motherfuckers looking at me funny. I want a Benz too. They won't let me get on the water slide with them because I ain't got the damn car that they need to. I can't go to Six Flags. She left because I don't have lack. Or you can reverse that shit and say, I need some money. Man, this shit feel good as fuck to be able to go on this journey to get this money. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I feel my ass on the seat of the Benz. I feel this shit. You can look at it. Listen, if people don't think you're crazy, you probably ain't dreaming big enough anyway. You ain't visualizing hard enough. You got to ask motherfuckers if they can smell that. You smell that? Y'all smell that shit? The fuck is you talking about? This shit smell like new car. Think like, what the fuck is he saying? But now they thinking about the new car. You just ask them for help. You know what I mean? So it depends on where you're sitting at. Because I'm only telling y'all what I've done, really. You know what I'm saying? I've done both. I've operated from the state of lack, and the shit just kept getting worse and worse. I said, I can't keep doing this. I might as well jump out here and assume that this shit is for me. You know what I'm saying? And I've dealt with it from the state of, this is mine. I don't have it at that moment. That don't mean that shit ain't coming. I'm not going to let any motherfucking body make me feel like I don't have some shit. Can't nobody tell you broke. Unless it's the bank and you go to the bitch and they're like, oh, ain't no money in here. They're the only motherfuckers who can let you know you broke. You know you broke. So if somebody call you broke, what the fuck does that mean? Same way you know you rich. Somebody call you rich. Where are you? Like what Bob Marley said. He said, my riches is life, always. I'm forever wealthy because of that. And that type of message is what more people need to think about. Doesn't mean act like you don't need this or that or the third or things aren't required, okay, or to just settle. It means that no one should be able to displace you just because of their opinion of your situation, where you could literally stumble across a lottery ticket. And those same ignorant ass people would treat you like a king the next day. It don't mean enough. Are you with me? It's just, what do you mean to you? So if you're saying you need something, that doesn't mean lack. It's just a statement. It's an affirmation of within itself to say that because you need this, when it gets there, that's why it's there, because you needed it. Anybody ever told you that? So I gave it to you because you needed it. You know what I'm saying? Or I gave it to you because you wanted this. You know what I mean? They gave it to you because there was a demand for it. And once that arrives, all you're doing is moving around a time sphere that says, if you could think, let's say, watch this, keep it so simple. You need to go to that grocery store. You know where the grocery store is. Why the fuck would you go in the opposite direction? You know what I'm saying? You ever ask a nigga, say, where we going? Shit, we going to this? Nigga, that shit is back there. Are you with me? So if whatever it is that you're saying you need or need to get to is in this direction, and that means taking the steps necessary to get to it, all right, and once you say you need to do it, that ain't nothing but cranking up the car. You finna sit there and just, that's what visualization has to be put into motion. Faith without works is dead. All this other time, you can't just visualize and have no action. You know what I'm saying? You have to put action to it. So it's not necessarily a lack word. Remember, there's polarity. It could be put in motion as a lack word, and it'll cause you to deplete. Okay? Or you put it in motion as a wholesome word, right? And it'll give you the opportunity to be completed.
Now I got another. Okay, all right. I got another, man. Every question that I think that's like, your ass turn that shit into like, damn, this nigga cold, man. This nigga cold. All right, like I got a next question for you. All right, so how do we defend ourselves psychically from, like, you got like on TV, they show like every commercial is some naked picture or the no clothes or vice versa, man and women, and then you got women walking around naked, just about. I mean, Like it's like images. How do you defend yourself from certain images that may cause you to, want to sin? I mean, lust. I mean, it's the number one. I mean, yeah, like like you see a chick, you like I ain't gonna lie, like you see something like God damn, you gonna say God damn. If you're a real man, you gonna say, you might not say it out loud. You gonna say shit or something. Like, God damn, that's bad piece right there.
Right.
Now, how do you defend yourself from shit like that? I mean, if we in Atlanta, man, like
ask yourself this question: why are you defending yourself from being a straight male?
No, I'm not the straight part. not the straight part. I'm saying, hey man, yeah, not the straight part. Look, I'm saying, like you with a girl, you with your girl.
I'm
right
clowning,
now.
bro. I'm clowning.
I know. Hey, look, so you with your girl, and you got all this. You know what I mean. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. Listen, if I see some shit, I see some shit.
You're gonna say, yeah, it's cold.
I don't have to. Watch this. I can see some shit. I don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
It depends on what your response is going to be in that moment. I don't have to. I could, or I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Yeah.
The reason why you feel the need to protect yourself from that or defend yourself from that, like Al-Quran said, protect your gaze, right? Be cautious of your eyes. Another thing people need to remember how to do is you have to compartmentalize your protection. You have to compartmentalize your protection, meaning you think it only protect the mind, but how many parts of the senses is your mind connected to? You have to protect your eyes. Al-Quran literally tells you, protect your gaze. Watch where you're looking. You feel what I'm saying? When you asking me, how do we, we see this image, how do we stop looking at that? Or how do we not be affected by that? It sounds to me like you're sitting at a bar and you're asking me, Faise, I'm at this bar, how do I stop drinking? Get up and leave the bar. You know what I'm saying? If you tell me you're at a bar and you're not drinking, I'm asking, what are you there for? Are you with me? Did you get that? Some people miss that. Hey, if you said you're at the bar and you want to stop drinking, Faise, how I stop throwing these bitches back? I say, nigga, where you at? I'm at the bar. And you doing what? I'm drinking. And you want to stop? Stop. Okay, stop and get the fuck about the bar. Then I hit you and say, where you at? I'm at the club. I hate this music. Okay, then where the fuck? Where you sitting at? I'm at the bar. Okay, what are you doing? I'm just sitting here. That ain't the place for you. That's why you asking. You know what I'm saying? So it's deeper than just, that's why I say I'm clowning. It's deeper than just being a straight male, because you see some shit. I'm not one of them. I see some fine sisters all the motherfucking time. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I got a girl. She would know, like, if I say some shit, it's like, I'll say the shit to her. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that your mind is to automatically go to lust anytime you're dealing with a sister who has a beautiful body. It doesn't mean that your mind has to automatically go to lust just because you're dealing with, you had a bathing suit, whatever, party, whatever, and you see women, you're supposed to be unable to control yourself. Right. No, it's a choice. The choice is, if you're looking at an image on Instagram or you go to your page, whatever you see, you can stop there, you could lust, or you could turn your phone off, or you could go to your explore page, type different shit in. Type in motivational quotes. Type in something. Click on a few of them images. Refresh. Guess what they're going to feed you more of? Whatever the fuck you looked up.
Right.
So when you start factoring this part of your own self-control in, you say, a lot of times we don't have to defend ourselves. A lot of times we need to remove ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Remove ourselves from what phase? Remove yourself from a location. Remove yourself from an environment. Remove yourself from a relationship. Remove yourself from a state of mind. Right. And that state of mind is, there's absolutely nothing wrong with acknowledging women's beauty. I actually think it's real weird when men try to bash women for being beautiful. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or when men try to bash women for having a physique and try to act with, all that self-righteous shit when they get up on that. I think that's weird. However, when it comes to the reason why the Al-Quran said protect your gaze, they didn't just say that for the men, they said it for the women also. They were also saying be cautious of how you walking. Be cautious of what you wearing and how you walking. Because when there's work to be done, people need to be focused on their work. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing a specific thing, because of the nature of the primitive self that all of you have, if it's time to put that to the side, then it's time to put that to the side. Right. Okay? Does it mean that it's the woman's fault for being sought after? No, it's not her fault. Okay, no more is it the fault of the man who's a straight male who sees something that he likes. However, both of them have a responsibility if they're doing a particular thing, which is a work of some sort to get a job done. So if the job needs to get done, then the male needs to be cautious of what he's doing with his eyes, okay, or letting his eyes wander, okay? He also has to be cautious of how he sees women to begin with. If you only see them as objects, then you're going to have to do multiple things to fade or shed off whatever that is about yourself to only see them as objects. If you can start seeing them as partners of yours on this planet, then that'll shift. And for the women, if they were more cautious of the energy that comes off of their body when it's revealed, especially for, which is the majority of the men that you've encountered in your life, sisters, people who are stuck in that root chakra, then you have the power at that point to say whether or not you're going to be more revealing or less revealing. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, if you're having an issue with that, which is what you're doing, okay, well then the key thing to remove yourself from that is to remove yourself from that. If you don't want to visualize this or see somebody looking this way and say, damn, that look fine, then don't do that. Change your habits. When you see some shit, look away. When they say, I'm straight, I ain't gonna do that. Okay, well, if you're straight, well, you need to figure out the way to be straight and not be a creep. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, there's men, real men, who have figured that out. What Pop say, anybody that can't control their sex, get away from them. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that cannot control their sexual nature. Okay, so it's your sexual nature to look at these parts because automatically you may not know it as men, okay, but it's something for you to understand. Naturally, you want to reproduce. It is your animalistic nature to do so. That's why they put it in the Lucy movie. What? Mankind can do what? Become an immortal, or they can produce like Ray. Reproduce. Okay? You could be like Ra or God and produce like them, or you could be an immortal and go beyond mortality, which is just saying death, mort. Okay? So then how do you do that, Faise? It's saying if I have children, I'm not going to be able to succeed and be an ascendant master. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if they say be fruitful and multiply, that's what they meant. That means that's what that fruit is for. Multiplication. Niggas stop forgetting that shit. They said addition. They must have said addition because we can still add 2 plus 2. No, nigga. They said multiplication. You know what I'm saying? Niggas said, but what if we put a condom in it? What do you mean a condom? You don't condone what you're doing? That means that you don't know, they don't condone what you're doing. You know, nobody condone what you're doing. So you're going to put a condom here, a condom, all right? Or you're going to put this condom over this thing and say that I'm going to con what this whole shit was about and put a dome over it to stop the multiplication from happening. You understand? Or God has a plan. Yeah, this is plan A. But what we do, we're going to get a plan B. So there's another plan. Whose plan is this? When God's plan is, if this happens, there's a certain amount of divinity that says we're going to either allow or to not allow a life to come through. That's divinity. We have no control over that in all actuality. You could be as fertile as you think you are. You could be as infertile as you think you are. There was always these stories of how somebody thought that they was, listen, nigga had in one of these movies, a nigga had a vasectomy and all this other stuff, and he was pulling out, and he still got somebody pregnant. You don't control that. You understand? You may think you do, but that's something way beyond you. That's God's plan or the divine plan. What we do, plan B. You understand? So you don't know that there are 2 forces moving at that point? You know what I mean? Now, I don't want to get into this whole conversation because I know this started getting a little testy, and I'm not trying, no pun intended, I'm not trying to offend anybody. You understand? Because you all have the right to do whatever you do. You understand? And I'm not the judge. All I'm saying is the plan is set. God has a plan. You know what I'm saying? They want us to do a certain thing and operate a certain way to reach a certain level. If you want to reach that level, then family, that which makes you a man right now, you may have to go against that at times. If you think being a man means you got a high body count, if you're trying to ascend and not look at every woman as a piece of cherry to pick off of a tree, well, then you're going to have to be abstinent. You're going to have to retain. You're going to have to do all of these things, and then it's fun is going around and doing what you may have been doing. So the point is, you have the power. Ain't nobody making you do anything. You have the power to do that. That's not an attack. You know what I'm saying? It's an offer. It's the same offer that was made in the beginning, Genesis, where they said, here go this fruit, all right? Knowledge of something that's going to make you wise, pleasurable to the sight. You know what I'm saying? It's good for you. It's good for food, consumption, all of this stuff that deals with desire, which I explained to you in the last class, desire, destruction, desert, the red. You ask somebody, what's the color of the fruit of the garden of Eden? They're going to say red. Are you with me? Where we get into the apple as opposed to the pomegranate, where you say Allah made promises, and then somebody else had a promise, and there was only one who was going to really grant their promise, or the promise that was granted. You look into the pomegranate word, and you'll find many apples. You know what I'm saying? So it was speaking about whatever that forbidden fruit is, and it was red, speaking about the root chakra. That's why fruit is just short of root, one letter. Take the F off of fruit, and you get root. Are you with me? So if you're stuck in the root, then of course, when this snake brings you this offer, yeah, you go for it every time. You go for it every time. It's good. That's another thing. Stop lying to yourself. Some people try to act like they I don't know what happened. In their mind, they try to make it seem that because they want to change up, that now ain't nothing look good no more. That ain't what it means. It means that just because some shit look good don't mean you got to pick it up and eat it. You know what I'm saying? Or just because something looks this way don't mean you have to gaze upon it. You know what I mean? That's why somebody could be standing with their mate. Let's say a man standing with his girl and he looking at somebody pass by and the girl get to slapping him with the purse. And he's like, wait. Because you done got lost in you done risked it all with your eyes. Just because it was pleasurable to the sight. And that you had the desire to make yourself wise. Like the rappers say, girl, I just want to know you better. What do you mean know her? You don't care nothing about where she went to high school and what her grades was like and where she played hockey. You don't give a fuck about what you're saying. No, is you want to open up those areas that you don't feel is being revealed to the rest of the world. That's what niggas mean when they say no. You get what I'm saying? So that's what the non say. You knew your wife. You had sex with her. So it's desire for sex, which is the sex, which is the root. That doesn't make you an evil person, except when it's time for you to focus and get certain things done. Like right now, in today's day and age, if you look out into this whole realm right now, sex, it took over. And the only way to rectify that is to not only suggest that people flee from Nur. Interesting enough, Nur means to flee. So you have to flee from Nur because you've been nodding or nutting for too long. What is nodding? Nodding is going to sleep. And what everybody trying to chase? A nut or a nut. You've been doing that for too long. You've been in the newts or the darkness for too long. Flee from that and come over here. Not only do you suggest that they flee from the root, you have to provide something else for them. You got to give them something else, which you may not be able to see what I'm holding right now, but that's a green light. Okay, so that they can cross that road or cross that sea. And they got to know that when you get to that crossing, that don't mean it's going to be easier because you still may like what you like. Okay, and don't think that the angels didn't have the same type of problems that you had because they said now the man has become like one of us. And in the Quran, they said, are you going to create another race of beings that causes bloodshed and corruption in the earth plane? Are you with me? So these people who you may hold to high regard, even myself or pastors or imams, we are going through the shit. You know what I'm saying? We see some shit, we might like some shit, whatever. The issue is they play self-righteous instead of just explaining that it all depends on your willpower. Nobody's holding you prisoner in your action or your deeds. You're only doing what you will to do. That's why you won't be able to blame the devil. Al-Quran, Surah 14, Ayah 22. You won't be able to blame Iblis. All right? Try to blame Iblis. What are you going to say? He said, yo, Allah made you a promise. I made you a promise. You know what I'm saying? You listen to me. You didn't listen to Allah. I didn't make you do anything. Are you with me? So if you got the urge to come over or overcome something or to get this out of the way and do another way, then listen to that urge. And just as much as you would listen to the urge that causes you to fall. Listen to the urge that's telling you or imploring you to rise up. And get the fuck out that bar. So you don't got to drink there. You know what I'm saying?
I got an important question. Somebody asked this.
Mm-hmm.
It says, could you speak on psychic self-defense and adrenaline, the way adrenaline works? Because they say some people, you know, that adrenaline get them where they, I don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? They go Superman, really, you know what I'm saying? On the different hormones, you know, like you go to the ones in the brain, but I know the adrenaline gland is like, you know, but they really asked about the adrenaline gland in connection to playing a part in your psychic defense. Could you go into that? Yeah.
Well, we're not making any movements without our brain. So when we're talking about the psyche, let's remember that we're speaking about the brain. Okay? When you say you get an adrenaline rush, if you see a dog, it's just like other animals have it too. And human beings are a part of the animal kingdom. That's very important for them to remember because you're very alike to animals, except you have certain parts of your brain that develop that allow you to do more, you understand, than the rest of the animals or mammals or whoever else these beings are. When certain animals encounter an enemy, all right, or an op or a predator, they get that same type of response. And that response says fight, flight, or freeze. All right, you're either going to fight back, all right, or you're going to take flight, or you're going to do like the deer do in headlights, and you're going to freeze. You understand what Pac say? In times of danger, don't freeze, time to be a G. You feel what I'm saying? Because you have that moment where you decide what matters to me. Okay? So it ain't just a psychic defense of protecting your mind at that point. It's literally a lot of times protecting your body. You understand? So if you want to protect your body, you'll say whether you'll say I should fight this person back and defend myself physically, or I should take off to defend my body physically, or if you're not capable of doing either and it's too much of a shock, you will literally be paralyzed and you will freeze. Okay? So which one of the people are more likely to, or is more likely to freeze up? The person who's been exposed to war over and over and over again, and already been in a situation where a gun go off and know how to respond and assess, or the motherfucker who been in their house their whole damn life and gunshots go off? The motherfucker who been in their house, like they gonna put you in the way. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna put you out the way. They gonna put you in the way. They gonna use you as a shield. They don't know anything about coming that close to death or having to know what it's like to defend themselves. So it may breed a coward. You know what I'm saying? Lack of experience. So for the person who experienced that adrenaline rush, which everybody will experience it, there are certain people who are trained on what to do during that adrenaline rush. If you've already been trained to breathe when, or to take deep breaths when you're met with danger, all right, to activate that parasympathetic nervous system, if you've already been taught to do that already, well, then you're going to do that in any situation, whether it's out of the blue or it was planned or you were expecting it. But for the person that hasn't, they're going to hyperventilate. You know what I'm saying? They're going to probably faint and pass out. You know, they're going to probably fight, and that's where you get all the stampedes. You got to, anytime there's a stampede, it's 100 people that don't know how to respond to gunshots. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, if you knew how to respond, you wouldn't run in the crowd. If you think you're in danger and you're running in a crowd of people, you're more in danger than you would have been if you would have just stood still, stopped and assessed. Because if they're really shooting to kill, they're not going to try to target the one Lone Ranger over there 300 meters away. They're going to look at this crowd that's 40 feet away from them, you know what I'm saying, running together in a group saying, please shoot us all together. Easier targets. You understand? So it depends on how primed you were before that moment. That answer of what to do with the adrenaline rush and how it syncs with the psychic defense. How prepared were you for that moment? Whatever that moment is that causes that rush, how prepared were you? And if you were more prepared than others, then you're more likely to survive. Again, this deals with your survival. That's what all this is for. It's set in to help you survive. That's why when they rolled out these programs and had everybody afraid and fearful with what was supposed to be floating around in the air, the fact that there may have not been any actual threat to those people, okay, their brain wasn't able to discern that. The moment that their brain said we need to survive, that sympathetic nervous system kicked in, they started stressing. You know what I'm saying? They started feeling like they really had to fight to survive. And they didn't have to. If somebody would have just taught them to stop and assess and to breathe, then they would have had a different outcome with that whole experience. Are you with me? So the key thing for people to remember is if you're really dealing with this adrenaline rush situation, it depends on how you were prepared for it. And if you were, you're not going to have an issue. If you weren't, you may have an issue. But it's all synced up to the brain, okay? Your brain wants you to survive. That's where addictions come from, okay? Because you're telling your brain you need this. So you may be addicted to a thing. That's where people will stay in a relationship or leave a relationship because you feel like you're getting this benefit or you feel like you're not getting this benefit. People are wanting to survive in one way, shape, form, or fashion. That's what turns a coward into a coward, because instead of facing the fact that one day he's going to die anyway, okay, and he signed up for this war or he's a part of this war, what he may do is he may flee and abandon his troop. And they have to deal with all of these things by themselves because they're facing death, but he says, I want to live. So he chooses his life, all right, and walks away and becomes dishonorable, okay, as opposed to fighting with his troop. Are you with me? So the adrenaline rush comes from, it's going to happen regardless, but it comes from whether or not you're prepared for whatever the situation is that appears. Y'all can still ask y'all questions. I can actually see y'all. If anybody else got any questions.
My bad. Hey, so we got So you should always be alert and aware.
Facts.
Yeah, like when I was in the military, they used to tell us you got to pay attention to detail.
Yep.
And I noticed, like say, like when they was trying to when that thing happened with at the quick trip and everything, of how you was aware or psychologically inclined to peep the scene.
Yep.
A lot of people can't do that. Like a lot of dudes who just want to walk right there and they wouldn't have recognized. Hold on, something look funny about this. This dude, this.
Yep.
So like, how do you be? I guess it's like kind of like asking you about being psychologically inclined to recognize certain situations to where you say, oh, well, I need to change this or alter this. I need to go a different route instead of walking right into this look like a trap. You know what I'm saying? It looks like a trap based on your psychological incline. So how do you train yourself to recognize situations that might be dangerous and you can maybe make a left turn and avoid that particular defense? Go ahead.
Right. That's a good question. Keywords is train yourself in situations. This is why I tell people, especially the people who come from the conscious community or the spiritual or religious community, please don't underestimate these hood niggas and these hood women. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're way more intuitive than you think. You feel what I'm saying? They're way more telepathically inclined, especially the women, than you think. They're way more energy sensitive than you think. It's been my experience, and some people may not like what I'm about to say. It's been my experience often that hood men and women are more conscious than the conscious community men and women. Because the conscious community men and women, it's not to single you out. I'm just saying this is what I've observed. You think being conscious means that you have an altar in your home, or that you do tarots, or that you know the different names of the chakras, or that you say Ashe or Ashuk. That ain't that. No, consciousness is awareness. And you ain't found no people who are more aware of whatever situation they're in than the hood people, the people who come from that cloth, the slum. You'll walk into an environment and not know. Listen, you'll be in a bank and there be a hood nigga in the bank. He'll leave the bank. You don't know where he going, but he done peeped some shit. He said, hold on, whoa, no. And all that happened in a split second, next thing you know, he gone. You didn't see it. So you there with your conscience behind, and now you're on the ground with everybody else. And the bank getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? I hope nobody think I'm finna rob no bank, because I done said bank. I done did bank robbery ideas. But listen, all I'm saying is, look, the nigga, he'll walk out. You know what I'm saying? And you'll miss it, right? So it depends on what you've been exposed to, all right? You can also pass on that information. I tell my brothers, don't ever let no nigga put their hand over or their arm over your shoulder, because they sonning you, especially in a group full of people. You know what I'm saying? Remember that story where Judas came in and kissed Jesus on the face or on the cheek, and that was his way of marking Jesus? You know what I'm saying? All right, I tell my brothers, don't let no nigga put their arm around your shoulder. They marking you. They sonning you. They literally saying you up under them. Don't let no nigga do that. You know what I'm saying? I also tell niggas, like, watch out for certain shit. Like, if a nigga tell you, hey, or ask you, can I use your phone? The answer, if you don't know that nigga and you in the middle of the hood, is always two simple ass words. Hell no. If you need me to spell it, HELLNAWL. But Faise, that's me. Will be as nice as you want to. And I suppose you don't need your wallet. I suppose you don't want your new shoes. I suppose your keys is in there that they're going to be able to walk in that parking lot and find out where your shit is. I guess you just don't want shit. I mean, that could go into the conversation of lack. You feel like you got everything you need. Well, then that's fine. Next time you go through the hoods and a nigga asks you, could they use your phone? Be like, yes, sure, buddy. You know what I'm saying? And then tell me how that went for you. But everybody else who wants to be more aware, hell no. Say it with me, hell no. That's how you really supposed to say it. You can take that soundbite and memorize. You can be the corniest nigga ever. You learn that, hell no, and keep walking. You ain't got shit else to say. All right? So it depends, just to keep it simple and serious. It depends on what you've been exposed to. It ain't always on some hood shit. What have you been exposed to? And if you've been exposed to certain things, you're going to be able to peep certain things. It goes right back into how people are going to respond, because I could have responded in shock and fear. You understand? But if I did, I probably wouldn't be here. All right? The key thing that you have to be able to do is stop and assess. Always be able to pause. Like in my battle movie, I have a movie. It's a hip-hop musical. It's called Battle. The key phrase toward the end was press the pause button. You have to be able to press that pause button. You the only motherfucker who know how long that pause button gonna last. But you have to be able to press it to be able to stop and say, all right, there was a situation I was with my homeboys. This is back in like 2020, right? And some shit popped off. I'm with them because we supposed to be just handling business. But because I'm with them when some shit pop off, now I'm in the middle of the shit that done popped off. Without getting into too much detail, it was finna turn into a shootout. I have nothing to do with this. But the shit finna turn into a shootout. Got a mama in the house. She's scared. She blocking her screen door. You know what I'm saying? She trying to keep this person from coming out there. All this other shit happening. This shit finna be blood. I said, I took a deep breath. I said, yo, I was looking at you had somebody who was driving one of the cars. She was like, I got my babies in the car and this supposed to be one of the cars niggas is in. I said to one of the main niggas, I said, let mom ride. Right? Meaning the mother who was afraid for her babies. I just leaned over and whispered to her. I said, hey, let mom ride out. Because she was getting nervous anyway. She was going to heighten the situation. It was going to be bad. I said, let mom ride. He looked at me, and because that's his ride, he called the whole shit off. Now, somebody who ain't from that and never seen shit like that pop off, never seen a gun, you know what I'm saying, all kind of shit, I would have been panicking with them. What y'all gonna do? Wait, stop. No, hell no. Bow, 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 bow. Next thing you know, you done agitated the situation thinking that you helping because you ain't monitoring your own energy. You understand? What did he do? He looked me right in my eye. I said, let mom ride. He knew exactly what I was saying. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have to heighten the situation, you know what I mean, if you've already been through similar things. So my point is, and that don't mean I've been through everything. It's just if you've been through certain things, then you can apply it to different situations. It's never a good idea to respond off of impulse. Never. You understand? It's always a good idea to have some type of thought. And you have to train yourself. That's why I said the key word is training. Some type of thought has to go off so you be able to prepare yourself for whatever the situation is. Okay? So sometimes it takes consistent training to go over and over and over again what the fuck a gunshot sounds like. That's what the Army and them was for. You know what I'm saying? So some shit like that happen, they know what to look for. Nothing simple. Red flags in relationship. If you already have seen this red flag pop up before, if you still dealing with that red flag over and over and over again, that's literally on you. You feel what I'm saying? So the next time some shit pop up, you don't went over in your mind what the scenario could be, but if you haven't prepared yourself for how you may or may not respond, then you'll pop up in the situation and you don't even know what you're doing. Next thing you know, you seeing red, literally, and you done did some shit that you ain't think about. You feel what I'm saying? I know it's easier said than done. I'm telling you personally, everything I'm saying to you is easier said than done. For some people, it'll be easier. Others, it may be more complicated. You know what I'm saying? Work at it. Work at it. Because if you have to come to grips with one day you won't be here anyway. So if it's even the most extreme life-threatening situations, okay, the best thing you can do is take that quick breath, think about it, and stop and assess. One of my teachers from Carver High School, brother named Dr. Hagen, told me that when he was in the military, he learned 3 letters. Okay? He said, adapt, improvise, and overcome. For whatever the situation was, they were taught to stop, adapt, improvise, and overcome. Because you're not always you can go through 1,000,000 simulations, but they might have forgot to add one little key thing in the simulation that'll throw off what you thought is. You say, why? Because life isn't always operating like a simulation should, or what you think a simulation should operate like. So sometimes you have to improvise. But keyword in improvisation is improve. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to improve in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And once you improvise and you get over that, you overcome the next situation you take it into, you understand, you'll be able to do more, all right, and respond in a better way, or a more efficient way, or more beneficial way to yourself. All right? So the key thing to remember is never off of a whim. You act off of impulses just the same way of acting off of urges, just the same way of acting off of lust. And people do that and then they regret what they did. You know what I'm saying? You want to make the decisions that you know you did with dignity. It was dignified. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I got another. Go ahead.
I do it.
I got another question, man, because you brought up another question. Now we're talking about psychic defense, but like psychic offense. Now I used to hear Baba said one time that when we go out and to teach the right knowledge, we don't gotta always be on the attack. We got, I mean, not necessarily attack. We could be on like the defense. It's like, you know, like with somebody trying to attack you and use their doctrine or whatever to all you got to do is just question them or, you know, do your own like offense or whatever. So how do you do offense when we talk about defense, but how can you use offense without offending somebody or attacking somebody mentally, but just, you know, to show your mental or your personality and to express yourself, because you got different types of I noticed like on the game that game my boy got is he make the character, it's got expressive personality, unpredictable. You got some people that's unpredictable personalities, and then you got you know, a little bit of both. So like for somebody that's expressive, and because like people say like they should make fun of me when I was younger. You talk a lot. You talk too goddamn much. You know what I'm saying? You like I'll be standing up talking to the people, kicking some right knowledge, and then somebody just walk up, never even met me in life, no, don't even know me, and say, "Nigga, you talk too much." I know it'd be a demon and shit on them, but like, how do you defend yourself from shit like that, from motherfuckers like that walk up out of nowhere, never met you in life, but you talk too much all of a sudden? And then motherfuckers around, they say, "Damn, that nigga right," but he don't even know him. So how the fuck? It's like some weird shit like that happen to people like us that be keeping this right now. It's always a demon that right after you walk off, it's a demon that walk up and say, "Man, don't listen to shit he said." You know what I'm saying? Man, he crazy. This nigga crazy. He got his face. You know, so how we defend from motherfuckers like that mentally? Yeah, psychologically. Yeah.
For one, listen. When it came to all that science and shit, I'm not debating no nigga one-on-one for shit. For one, let's start there. I'm not trying to change no one nigga mind about shit. So anytime anybody ever witnessed me go back and forth with a motherfucker, it's because other people was listening. It's because I was providing that audience with another side of what was being presented. I was providing that audience with an opportunity of what they were going to choose. Because if one person is saying it is this way, like, I'll give you an example. Niggas were talking about fourth dimension. Yeah, man, we're going to go from the third dimension to the fourth dimension, then the fifth dimension. I said, hold on. So let me ask you a question. What is the fourth dimension? He said, what do you mean? I said, I mean what I asked. What is the fourth dimension? You know, when you get into a higher frequency, the same shit. And they always say the same shit. I was like, okay, cool. Higher frequency ascension, Well, it sound good, but what the fuck is it? We know what the third dimension is. We can look at it. We see one dimensional will be what you refer to as time. The warping around the third dimensional plane is what you accredit to be a fourth dimensional aspect of time, but still time itself is one dimensional. Okay, so things like that, abstract things we will refer to as one dimensional. Then you have two dimensional, which is really all you ever experience, two dimensions. Because you look at, right now you're looking at the screen, you're looking at the face of the screen. If you go and get a cube, you're only seeing one image that's flat in all of your realm. You've only had a perception of depth, okay? Or is referred to as a depth of field. That's all you have. But in all actuality, you're not beholding 3D. You're beholding one flat side of whatever you're looking at one time. You feel what I'm saying? Even if you had a mirror behind the shit, you're still looking at one flat plane of that side and one flat plane of the side that you're seeing with your eyes. Okay, so we have first dimensional, second dimensional, and third dimensional is supposed to be this person, place, thing, 1, 2, 3 dimension that we're living in now that you say based off of the volume and the depth that you're beholding is the third dimension. What's beyond that? What's more? What do you know beyond the third dimension? They say thoughts. No, thoughts are in the third dimension because thoughts are literally traceable, trackable, and obtainable. With the technology that they have now, they can find your thoughts. They can remix them. They don't even got to leave that thought how it was. They can add on new shit. They can brainwash you. So no, not thought. What? There's nothing beyond that human beings know. There's nothing beyond the physical plane, which is referred to as the third dimensional plane. So I had to explain to the people who was listening, not to the motherfucker who wanted to argue, because he couldn't explain shit. I explained to the people that listen that the fourth, fifth dimension, sixth, seventh, eighth dimension ain't nothing but the conscious community way of saying heaven. Because ain't nobody talking about the fourth dimension and this demons there. Ain't nobody saying there's a fourth dimension and you being tormented. There's always some higher secondary color ass shit. Okay, you don't want to say heaven because you don't want to sound Christian. All right? You don't want to say Jannah because you don't want to sound Muslim. Okay, well, all you're using is scientific terms. Okay, that's where you get into the pseudoscience. You're using scientific terms to try to describe something that you would have had to understand from that standpoint to even begin to speak about it. Are you with me? So that's when you go on to, first of all, that was the offense because you walk in to clear some shit up. Hold on, these folks ain't even did shit to you, Faise. Yeah, but they said some bullshit. And I happen to be here in the earshot, so I'm about to clear this up. All right? Then the defense is if a motherfucker want to convince you of some shit that they can't even explain to themselves, then you have the actual responsibility to drown them out. That's one of the drown out the noise is one of the psychic self-defense tactics or tips. Drown out the noise. That's noise. He can't even describe it for himself, but he's trying to tell you what it is. Then they use this. They use what the Christians use when you ask about God. You can't understand it. It's beyond human comprehension. Let me ask you a question. If the fourth dimension is beyond human comprehension, then who the fuck told humans? If humans can't comprehend it. What human was able to comprehend the incomprehensible? You understand? So you shut all of the delusion down and you say, well, then I get it. Fourth dimension is just a spell word. The same way spirit is a spell word. You don't know what you're speaking about unless you really speak about what you're speaking about. Because if you really speak about what you're speaking about, you're really saying that it's a dimension that operates beneath the three dimension that is interacting with the third dimensional plane that allows you to say that it's a fourth dimension because it stands off to itself, which is time. But then you get into time is an illusion. I say, where you get that from? They say Einstein. Einstein did not say time was an illusion. He said, you trying to grasp the concept of future, present, past, and say that they operate alone is nothing but a stubborn illusion. He said the distinguishment between the three is a stubborn illusion. He never said time itself was an illusion. But that's where they take that one thing and they run with it. They teach their whole life that time is an illusion. And they don't realize it took them time to teach that shit. You know what I'm saying? So the point is, right, your offense is setting the record straight. Malachi York went on offense to set the record straight. And when he did that, of course, the demons trying to defend themselves. They back it up. Who are you? You're the son of man. How you come to judge us before our time? Next thing you know, niggas is doing this. They sliding around. You know what I mean? And they try to defend themselves, but they couldn't stand. They said they want to box with the God, but their arms too short. You know what I'm saying? Who does this man think he is? In the 360 question to ask a Sunni Orthodox Muslim. Who does he think he is? 360 question to ask a Hebrew Israelite. Who does he think he is? 360 question. And they fighting, but they had no actual defense against them. You know what I'm saying? So when they would try to throw their defense, they put out a book. Bilal and them people put out a book. You know what I'm saying? It took them 3 some odd years for this book to come out. This whole Arabic community come out with a book. It wasn't powerful enough because by the time they done put out their book to try to target one thing that he done said, he done taught 70,000 more things that have shit to do with y'all. You thought you was special. And you know, he went up against everybody, so you have to understand that they did try to fight back. And that's just them trying to throw their attacks. But they weren't strong enough, so that's where the defense comes in. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this. You know how to fight after a certain point. You know, a black belt don't have to go and just pick on a random motherfucker to just fight them. A black belt realizes just because they know they can fuck you up, they ain't gonna fuck you up. You feel what I'm saying? So your offense is like, again, Pop set the record straight. You go into certain realms and you set them straight. All right? Me coming to planet Earth was offense. All right? For the people that have an issue with me because I'm here, I know how to defend myself. Me setting out this green light movement is offense. Anybody who wants to attack and try to shut it down, we know how to defend ourselves from that. You understand? So it depends on the situation. But when you go on offense, it's about you saying something needs to be done and you go and do it. You know what I'm saying? When you go on defense, it's somebody thinking they can do something to you, okay, and you stop it from happening. It's like every other war. You know what I mean? It just depends on what side of it you're on. What else you got for me?
Oh, yeah, we got about 30 minutes. We'll take, hey, y'all got any questions in the crowd for says something, sometimes it can become Doing that, something you got to. Okay, all right, that's just a statement. Hey, y'all got any questions for Faise in the crowd? We got about 30 minutes. We'll take a couple questions from the crowd. See what y'all got. You need some interesting hot shit because you see how you can give Faise 2 sentences, man. He go off like the computer, man. Like you Google that shit. Like I think he go off like he like a damn man. I tell you, it's like you can Google some shit and everything. Google tell you, Faise can tell you and something. Tell me. Says you should always be alert and aware. Okay, all right, we got that part.
Activate something called your psychic, your 5 sense defense. Okay, because I was speaking about it earlier when I said protect your gaze. When we were talking about protecting your gaze, watch what you're looking at. All right, literally watch what you're looking at. Be cautious of what you're seeing and taking in. It's all about your senses and what's making it to this psyche. If you're defending it, then like the books were saying, protect yourself from this consumption or this reception. You also watch your mouth. Literally, watch your mouth. Be cautious of what you say. Be cautious of what you consume. Okay? Be cautious of what you eat and allow your temple through that way. You watch your ears. You be cautious of your ears. Listen, be cautious of what you're hearing, your music that you're listening to. Malachi was telling us to be cautious of gossip. Motherfuckers that want to sit around and just talk about people all day. Just talk about motherfuckers. They ain't doing shit in their life but talking about a motherfucker. You need to be cautious of that because when you leave, all right, that whole conversation that you thought was just a random conversation, they siphon it from you. They extract it from you. And next time they get around the same people that they were sitting there gossiping, they gossiping about you. Letting other people into your reality. You understand? So you be cautious of what you're hearing, what you're listening to. All right? Especially those of you who are just now finding your way into the spirituality. It can be, listen, this for somebody. It can be real easy getting caught up in charisma, like I put in the rehab book. All right? It can be very easy to get caught up in somebody's ability to remember some shit and retention. Listen, I know I got the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I make sure I remind people all the time, look, this ain't about me. Okay? If you needed to be fascinated by some shit that I'm doing, you needed to be fascinated so that you can be reminded about what you're supposed to do. But that's all it was for. Okay? What people tend to do is they start worshiping niggas. What people tend to do, they start putting them up here on this pedestal that they don't think no nigga could ever step down from. You know what I'm saying? What people tend to do is they make that the motherfucker. Like, this is what it's all about. No, what it's all about is whatever the messenger brought forth. It ain't nothing new. All right? They did it with Jesus. They did it with Muhammad. They did it with everybody. Anybody that brings forth a message and puts people to work and say, no, it's time to do this, you start making it about the person as opposed to seeing what the works is that they bring it forth so that you can replicate those works or do greater works. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to really be cautious of who you're listening to. That's very important. Okay? If you're listening to anybody as a teacher, you need to be asking yourself, what led this person to say this today? What led this person to teach this today? Okay, what led this, why am I listening to this person? If these things are affirmative and you say that I'm learning from this, I'm gaining from this, and I'm able to utilize this and keep going. Okay? But if all you're getting is just some talk, you might need to be cautious. If you're not seeing any action behind it, you might need to be cautious. You feel what I'm saying? Meaning, whatever they bring to you, like Pop said, he said, all you want is the truth. He said, but people who don't know the truth don't want to tell you they don't know the truth. And he was telling people to be cautious, especially those people who want to be rising up conscious leaders. He literally said, if you don't know the truth, okay, then he said, you're going to be bringing us bad light because you're not just talking to our body, you're also talking to our soul. You understand? So again, don't get caught up in, it's the same thing with the pastors in the order. Don't get caught up in just what we sound like. All right? You have to understand the reason for what we sound like. That's where you get into sound right reasoning. So be cautious of what you're listening to. That don't mean don't listen to Faise One or listen to this person or don't listen to this person, listen to Faise One. It means that you need to actively discern and separate. Okay, what is different about Faise One? If you're here, you know there's something. I'm not saying that you have to understand it right now, but you know that it's something is different about this man, Faise One. Well, let's test him. Test every spirit with a spirit. Let me ask this nigga a question. Faise, what you think about when we see women, da-da-da-da-da? Did he respond and say, bro, you should never, ever, ever in your life see a woman and be like, God damn. No, he responded from literally the truth. Okay, so Faise One stand on truth. Then you keep testing that. You keep testing that. Ask him a question. Pay attention. Ask her a question. Pay attention. Watch people's responses. What do they say? What is important to certain people? You understand? So again, be cautious of what you're listening to. Sound right reasoning. All right. If you hear, you already know why you hear. You're hearing something that you knew you needed to hear. Okay. But again, it ain't about phase one. I'm just an event. If you're supporting me, you're supporting this event, and you know what we're here to do, and you understand why we're here to do it. And even if you don't understand it and you're walking with me, that says something about you because you know something needs to be done. I got a lot of people messaging me lately and said, look, I just found out about this. You the reason I'm waking up. And you did it. I keep bringing them back around to the green light, sending them to Malachi, tell them, listen to this, who and what are you? And look, all right, now remember, you picking up your cross and you walking with us. You feel what I'm saying? You taking up that same cross and you walking with us. You're not standing there behind as we walk up the mountain. So it's going to be rough at times. You might slip up, you might stumble. But if you found me, then you found me for a reason, okay? So if it sounds right, it's for a reason. It's up to you to figure out what that reason is, and that reason has to have something to do with what you're going to do. You understand? It has to have something to do with how you're going to help, because phase one is here to separate the sheep from the goat. He's here to help. You understand? To bring this round back to order. Okay, so you got your eyes, you got your ears, what you're hearing, you got your mouth, what you're taking in, you have your nose, the smell, the scent. You ever literally said, yo, some shit don't smell right? Something don't smell right. Something smells fishy. You know what I'm saying? Be cautious of the scents that you allow in. All right? And watch how people respond to certain scents. Okay? I remember I put on, what was it? The Frank and Myrrh. I was at Georgia State for 5 months. I did this program for a field company at the cinema building. All right. There was a sister I had an interest in. This was back in 2020, I think early 2020. There was a sister I had an interest in. Right. I'm like, that's a pretty ass girl. I was sitting next to her. We having conversations. I walked in one day and I had on Frank and Myrrh. Right. And I sat down next to her. Her whole face. She her whole shit changed. She said, is that you? I said, what? I'm like, yeah, I know I showered. I got myself together. I said, what? She said, what are you wearing? What's the scent? I said, it's Frank and Myrrh. She said, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that. That was the end of that. Listen, I literally was finna get up and move at that moment because there's no reason for you to not fuck with Frank and Myrrh. Listen, this is me. You may not agree with it. You might be like, damn, Faise, you could have heard her out. I ain't hear that shit. That was the end of that. What is that? What is that you? Yeah, that's me. What I do? Well, yeah, I know I ain't paying gas, nothing. She said, nigga, I don't like that. Oh shit, well, I don't like you. Because the Frank and Myrrh is the anointing. You understand? Real personal, but my first encounter when I literally was 20 years old, and it was my time to, would you say, give up your virginity, whatever you want to call it. I still don't feel like I ever lost the shit. I still feel virtuous than a motherfucker. Right? That's me though. I stand on that. I had on Frank and Myrrh. I anointed myself. So it's like an anointing. This is shit that you brought to the new nigga, the Jesus baby being born and shit. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, why not like that? So be cautious of people that can't stand certain smells. You feel what I'm saying? Look, all I'm doing is telling y'all what the elders done taught me coming up. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you light some sage in the house and the motherfucker get the running out or get the ginning out, yeah, you might need to be cautious about that. You do need to be cautious about that person and the fact that they can't, unless they got like myself, I'm an asthmatic. So shit might be difficult for me to breathe around it. I hope you don't call me no demon because I'm coughing. I'm an asthmatic nigga. This shit fuck with me. But the people that's like, literally, I had my mama light sage before, and we had a landlord or somebody that was over. She really, literally couldn't stay in the house. Every time she get the swipe in the air, it's like they can't fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain things. Be cautious of the nose is my whole point. And when the shit get in there and motherfuckers get to act in a certain way, all right, be cautious of that. All right, and also be cautious of your hands. That's really probably the most important. Be cautious of what you do. You know what I'm saying? Malachi said he made it his business to touch certain people. He made it his business not to touch certain people. Okay? If you're going to make it a part of yourself or make it your business to do certain things, be very conscious of what you're doing. Works of the hands is what I'm saying. That's the science. Don't forget that. Works of the hands. Your hands are going to tell on you. You know what I mean? Your hands going to snitch. I ain't saying nothing other than what Al-Quran said. Your body is going to start telling on what you did. Why is it important? Because the same thing with the weighing of the heart ceremony. You can lie to people. You cannot really lie to yourself. And if you can't lie to yourself, how do you think you're going to be able to deceive something that is greater than what you may even be able to fathom, which is that universe aspect of the self, of the divine aspect of the self that is all-knowing, meaning Alim, it knows everything that has happened to this point. recording and seeing everything. So parts of your body are written to speak out at a certain time. This means that everything you're doing, everything you're touching, everything you're eating, everything you're tasting, everything you're smelling, everything you're hearing is being logged in your body. That main logging center is referred to as your brain, which is your psyche. Again, let's bring it back around. Your 5 sense defense. Be cautious of everything you're doing with your 5 senses. And if you need to add more layers to what I just said, feel free. Add more layers to each sense so that you can be more cautious of what you're doing. Okay? But remember, when people are just letting out suggestions and telling you that maybe you should think about this, or maybe you should do this, or maybe you should change this, that doesn't mean you have to. A part of building your psychic defense is remembering that you're the one that's in control. You control what you touch. You control what you eat. You control what you see. You control what you hear. All right? And if you decide that you're not supposed to be in a certain area because it's not conducive to the new being that you're becoming, you are responsible for leaving. You have to leave. You understand? Especially if you're getting the message that you're supposed to. All right? That means it's that time at that moment. What y'all got for me? Let's do it.
They got another one. They got another good one for you, man. Now, they transfer the energy psychologically. Now, you got certain people that'll call you and they just calling you to dump negative energy on you. You know, like you having a good day and somebody call you, girl, you ain't gonna mate, dude, you ain't gonna believe what happened. Motherfucker trying to rob me or whatever. It's like the energy get transferred to you. And you're like, damn, I was feeling good. This motherfucker called me with this shit, with all these problems and dumped them on me. So how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it? Go ahead.
Hang up. Listen, I know I always jump to the most extreme. So look, I done got to that point. All right. So it's like, look, I literally done did that. I know some people still confused to this day. They probably still looking at the phone because I done hung up so fast. If you already feeling it, then you have a decision to make. You're going to allow this energy to resonate and become a part of your realm at that point. You got this shit going on, and you're going to let that shit come in with all the things you know. You're going to let the shit in. Why? For the sake of not hurting somebody's feelings. They don't give a fuck about hurting you. And whatever is in them is trying to be, brother, if you don't know how to transmute the shit, which that's another choice you can do, you can transmute it. Maybe you could go out, touch a tree with your right hand or hug a tree, say, take this from me. Yeah, but if you don't want to do none of that shit and you are flying high and a motherfucker get to grab your ankle, look at this. Let me give you an example. Let's say heaven was real. I'm just throwing some wild shit out here, right? And let's say, like they had the movie, This Is the End, okay? And they were being sucked up into them blue lights, go figure, right? And there was a time where one of them was hanging on to the other, but he was being held down. He couldn't ascend because this motherfucker holding on to him. And he's like, yo, I got to let you go because if I don't let you go, you're going to be held back. I can't hold you back anymore. And let him go. So here goes the question. If you knew that the rest of this realm was going to be utterly destroyed by, I don't know, fire or some shit, right? And this person that you were trying to hold on to was the reason why you were not able to detach from the earth plane and you would not have been allowed to ascend and you were going to be caught in the fire or caught in the destruction of this planet, okay? If all you had to do was detach from this person, okay, would you be able to do it? Would you be able to detach from them? Now, some people are like, yo, what if it's your mama? What if it's your brother? What if it's your cousin? And what if it's, listen, whoever it is, your girl, your wife, your husband, whoever it is, could you detach? It comes a time where it's like this. We can do a million analogies for this. This is a real good question, by the way. You on the boat. Y'all ever heard this one? Motherfucker drilling holes in your boat. And you like, hey, stop that. They're like, man, this shit is going on, man. I'm tired of this shit. Every time they call you, they drilling holes in your boat. What you gonna do? You finna make them walk the plank, or you just finna sink with them? Now, some people can't make nobody walk the plank. It's on you. My point is, you're in control. I'm making motherfuckers walk the plank all 2024. If it's a motherfucker that's near, listen, on the 1st at 12 a.m., the plank will be erect and out. And I'm just going to navigate you, say, put one foot in front of the other way. There you go. And just, it's no sharks. You listen, you still can call for help. I'll let you get on your phone, whatever, air support. But you will not drill holes in the boat. You understand? Now, some of you, it may not be that important. Some of you may have more time. Some of you might got an extra boat. It depends on who you are. You understand? But if you're dealing with that, then the key thing is you have to be able to hang up, literally and figuratively speaking. Hang up. That person is vortexing you. Hang up. That person is. What about you ever heard of energy vampire? Okay, they really exist. You ever heard of a blessing vampire? They just come in. They just like, what the fuck are you doing? They sucking up all the blessings. That's they leave. They hit the lottery, but you done got evicted. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, you got to be cautious of that. Sometimes people don't know they're doing it. So sometimes you can put them on notice and say, hey, you got to stop that shit. Oh, hey, look, every time we get some money, you come around and we start losing the money because you start fucking it up. You feel what I'm saying? You got to change this, that, and the third. Or you can't come to me with this. We about to go to this meeting, but because you can't control your fucking mouth, you understand? You going to make these folks not want to do business with us because the last 3 meetings we done been to, you fucked it up because you can't control your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So they can feel some type of way about you breaking it down to them. You don't got to say it exactly like I said it, but this is an example. You could be harsh, you could be abrupt, you could be polite about it, whatever. But if you observe in the same pattern over and over again, these motherfuckers still will not control their mouth. They don't know that when you sitting in front of this money right here and we got this business on the table, first of all, whatever your opinions is, hold them back. Can we at least get the money in our hands, our phalanges, nigga, before you get the door and run it off at the mouth shit? Do you got to be conscious community every motherfucking time, all day, 24/7, 17? Do you have to always speak your motherfucking mind when we need to get this shit done? Somebody might like, yes, I do. Okay, cut them off and let them do that shit away from you. You feel what I'm saying? My point is this. When it's time for things to be done and you're moving and you're making progress, okay, you can send warnings. You don't got to always just cold turkey cut somebody off or cut people or things off. You don't have to. But you can send warnings or lay it out that you already are making a change, okay? If they don't want to change with you, listen, I know a lot of y'all can bear witness to this. I have let many of people go. You know what I'm saying? I've let many of things go because we have to continue to get more things done. We have to continue to level up. All right, so you got to make that hard decision. It goes back to the same thing, detachment. Hang up. Ain't it your phone? You know what I mean? Listen, you ain't never told somebody, yo, you on my phone playing. So you know when it's your phone, when it's time for you to tell somebody about themselves, okay, when you tired of a motherfucker telling you about themselves, hang up. Hang up. It's no longer conducive. They're siphoning you. They're draining you. Hang up. You know what I mean? Or the other choice is deal with whatever comes.
Yeah, energy vampires, man. They'll fucking suck you dry. Like some people though are like me. Sometimes what I do is that I take it in and then I'm able to convert it. Like you say, go hug a tree, I work it, go run 2-3 miles, work it off. Like some kind of way I can convert it, but I don't let them do it to me all the time because doing that, it could drain you. Trying to convert energy, it takes energy to convert that energy. Yep. So, like I say, I try to avoid motherfuckers' problems, or I tell them like they did me, man. When I used to go through that shit, they said just toughen up, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't like we don't got no hard feelings, motherfucker. We don't give a fuck about you crying. This my people were tough, man. They punch you in the chest. Yeah, you're gonna be a man. My people they was tough, man. You know. Yeah. They didn't go for like the like you got if you went around and got into a fight, got your ass beat, and came back home crying, they'll get you in the car, drive you back around there and watch you fight. You don't go on there fight, and you gonna. It seems like I always won all the fights, but when I was in the wrong, I got my ass kicked. I only got my ass kicked one time, and I started. That's the fight that I started. I started a fight, and they have no motherfucking power. I mean, the most I fucking let that dude fucking stomp boots all in my ass. It's like I swung. Hey, look, I had about 10 or 15 fights. I ain't never lost but one fight, and that was a fight that I fucking started. And it was a dude that was younger than me, smaller than me, and everything. And he fucking kicked my ass. Yeah, he kicked my ass, man. And I learned from then that who I was. I said, well, seems like to me I can't start shit, but if somebody started with me, it's like I get this this fucking incredible heart. So I can fucking turn over a car. Right. When I'm in the right, somebody fucking with me. But that one time, this one dude sitting on the bus and he sat in my seat. And I said, nigga, you sit in my seat, you gotta get up. Oh, nigga, I ain't moving nowhere. I said, all right, wait till after school, nigga. We're gonna handle this. So I went sit there, I wait till I went to school. Little did I know this nigga was like some kind of red or black belt in karate. Yeah, I ain't know that though. You see, don't go fucking with nobody you don't know. Just like my granddaddy told me when I was younger. Don't go fucking with nobody you don't know. They could have a gun. You could know they could have a bad day. And ain't no telling how they gonna respond. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga couldn't wait. He couldn't wait for after school.
Man, he probably could. Hey, he couldn't because he knew that shit, right? So we got off the bus. Soon we got the bus, we lined it up. I said, "Motherfucker, did I tell you? Don't get in my seat." I swung at him. That nigga dogged that shit and tripped me, my nigga. Trust me, Faise. When he tripped me on the ground, he ain't never let me back up. He ain't never let me off that ground. He started putting that boot on me, man. I couldn't get up for nothing. I tried everything. And then, me and that dude ended up becoming friends later. No, me and that dude ended up becoming
friends. While you was telling this story, I want to say that this is one of the strongest points because it brings us right back around to the front. Right, with the self-defense or psychic self-defense, emphasis on the self, right? You ever heard where people say, you don't know a man until you fought them? Right? And you was like, it came to you that you shouldn't start shit. Yeah. Okay? It just bridged it for me even, where you saying you have to oftentimes, war with yourself. Right. And you don't really know a man or a woman until you war with them or fight them. So one of the best ways to learn who and what you are is to war with these aspects of the self that you feel need improvement. Right. You understand? Sometimes the red might win. Sometimes the green might win. Sometimes the cherub wins. Sometimes the seraphim wins. Don't think they weren't casualties when they speak about wars in the heavens. Right. You understand? People's lives get lost. Why look, if God didn't need a defense, there would be no army. Think about that. Some people may not be ready in science yet. That might have upset a few people. Listen to what I'm telling you though. If God did not need protection, he wouldn't have an army. What are armies for? For defense and offense. So he has an army, a heavenly army, thousands of legions, okay? Which means thousands of people who have war fleet ships and chariots and all this other stuff. They need protection. They need to defend their home too. They know that Shaitan plans to invade the Crystal City. They have to have people in position to protect that. They didn't say, hey, Nakash, you can't come back to the garden. No, they cast them out and they put a cherub there with a flaming sword that turned every which way, which is really speaking about some type of spherical magnetic field. Because only way you can say turning every which way is dealing with a spear. You know what I'm saying? So they had some type of mechanism, whatever it was, but they said this person has to defend Eden or Edenu or the Garden of Paradise or Garden of the Light. You understand? So when we're talking about self-defense, you have to war with different aspects of the self. You have to fight that. You know what I mean? You think it's easier just saying you don't want to do that thing anymore? You're going to literally have to fight. I told people it's going to feel like you're going through hell, but it's a necessary hell. Sometimes you try to break an addiction, it feels like you're going through hell. You understand? But you would rather put yourself through it now than to have to deal with what comes later. Like when I when I graduated high school, the day I graduated high school, I left, went home. I was actually living in a hotel. We were homeless at the time. I had met a brother who was a Caucasian. His name was John Abate. He owned Heritage, Volkswagen, Infinity, a few different dealerships. And he met me, and because of my articulation, he provided me with an opportunity. And I literally remember I went home after graduation. Everybody celebrated and all this other stuff. But because I had already been studying his manual, okay, which is like the salesperson's Bible, but he wrote it, he put it together, right? I had been studying his mind. I remember telling one of my people that was there, they said, what you studying? I said, become an auto sale consultant. They laughed at me. But they didn't know my situation. They didn't know what I was going through. They didn't know that I was diligent. It was in March. I was graduating in May, but I was studying in March. Okay, a part of that manual was speaking in terms of the path of least resistance. Okay, they said most people will choose short-term gain and will endure long-term pain. Most people will choose that. Okay, rare is it that people will choose short-term pain, okay, to experience the long-term gain. It's that whole conversation of you work now, play later. Which one would you rather do? People think that they would rather work now until they have to look at what that workload is, and people don't want to do the work. But you do that work, and you get to see the fruits of your labor. The work is you got to get out there and plant the tree. You got to water it. You got to watch it. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, the seeds start growing and blossoming and blooming, and the next thing you know, you can literally enjoy the fruits of your labor. But you don't get out there and work, what happens? You know what I'm saying? You got these snacks in here, you got these candy in here, you say, we'll make it. Then that runs out, but you didn't prepare. You understand? For that day where you would have to have something in place already. What they say, saving up for a rainy day. Are you with me? So the key thing I want people to remember is war with yourself. You have to take it to that next level. You got to know yourself like nobody knows yourself. And you got to stop the negative self-talk too. That's another thing. Stop the negative self-talk. There's a way to encourage yourself without beating yourself down. All right? We did a 90-day, well, we almost done. We've been doing a 90-day semen retention journey for the brothers that have been walking with me. Okay, I didn't create it. They've been doing this. They got all kind of communities, no-fap community. Kevin Gates done spoke on it, all kind of people, right? A lot of people will message me and say, Faise, what do I do if I fail? Right? When you see the word fail, it's right there next to fall. When you fail or when you decided that you've fallen, okay, if we're walking and we're going to a location and you trip and you fall, why would you lay there? Get up and keep walking. Yeah, maybe somebody see you fall. You know what I'm saying? But these are your brothers. They walking with you. They're not going to laugh at you. These are your brothers. They're not supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Because you got certain communities of people that say you're weak and, you know what I'm saying, all this other stuff. And no, you're supposed to encourage your brother. Get back up, nigga. You still got 70 more days. If you just did 20 and you fallen, okay, you got 70 more days. Do another 20. Do another 30. You feel what I'm saying? Get up, encourage. So if we can do that for each other, then you should be able to look in that mirror and do it for yourself. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not talking about just with stuff like that. I'm talking about with everything. You were supposed to save $500. You didn't save $500. You saved $200. Well, guess what? You saved $200. So if you can save $200, guess what? Do that 2 more times or 1 more time plus another 100. You understand? You should be able to talk to yourself and say, yo, you might have done this, okay? But you're not this. You may have done this, but that's that. You're not that anymore. Because today, like I say in my song, raise your frequency. Today's a new day. You can't be what you were. It's impossible, family. Time to make a new way. Figure out who you are. Become one with your spirit. If you want to escape, get free. Do you love what you see when you look in the mirror? If you don't, it's okay. Because it's never too late. You understand? Raise your frequency. Prepare to be prepared to be great. Are you with me? For the people who needed that, the point is, don't negative self-talk. You can encourage yourself. Are you with me? Now, some people may not get that because some people you might speak a certain way and it might not be negative. You know, brothers, niggas be in the gym, you know what I'm saying? We say all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You want somebody to fuck your girl? Well, no, I don't want somebody to fuck my girl. What you know what I'm saying? And you gonna get that extra rep in. But you a pussy? I'm not no pussy. You a pussy? You can't do it. But niggas can slap 5 after it. So that's men. Some people got it like that. Others, listen, stop the negative self-talk. Nobody's gonna fuck your girl and you're not a pussy. Are you with me? The point is, if you can literally put your brain to, I deserve to treat myself this way, or I deserve myself to hold myself in high regard, or I deserve better. All right? Look at yourself and say that. Literally look at yourself. Ain't nothing like it. Okay? When people say look yourself in the mirror, I'm literally saying that works. Look yourself in the mirror and say, yo, I'm getting better. You know what I mean? I'm not who I was yesterday. You know what I mean? You go to the gym, you working it out. You working it out. Okay, well then you need to look in the mirror. I told people to do that too. I say, do y'all push-ups and then look at yourself 90 days from now. You know what I'm saying? Do 100 push-ups every day. Look at yourself 90 days from now. Who are you? Ain't you proud of you? You know what I'm saying? For the sisters, you can do your Kegels, do your yoga, eat lighter. Ain't you proud of you? If you're not proud of anything else, be proud of the fact that you put your mind to doing something. You with me? That you didn't give up. Even if you fail, even if I did a cheat meal, whatever you want to call it, okay, whatever. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Okay, then you deserve that. You know what I'm saying? You deserve to celebrate yourself or whatever. Okay, then you treat yourself and then get back on the path of what you were doing. All right? Don't ever stress a stumble or a fall because we all fall behind these doors. We all fall behind closed doors. Are you with me? We all fall when these cameras is off. We didn't get to no high point. Jesus didn't make it to Mount Olive You know what I'm saying? Because he was born there. Are you with me? Now you got some people who were born on a mountain. That's a whole different story, a whole different allegory. But we all have to journey. And there's more than one mountain. Doesn't keep it like that. There's more than one mountain. You're going to get up to the top of the mountain and you realize you got to walk down it and get to another one. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks you get to the top of the mountain, that's it. No, you get to the top, walk down it, and there's another one ahead. Okay? But you keep elevating. All right? So stop the negative self-talk. Okay? For the people who was asking questions about how do we defend ourselves against demons, I gave you the green light, okay, or above, because there's more coming. So you do the green light or above. Right now, the green light movement is in session. All right? Everybody should be getting their green lights, putting it in your homes, change the environment, literally, where you're saying that there's a higher frequency burning. Not all this orange, yellow light, or this red light. Go green. Immediately, boom, things will start changing in your reality.
Hey, that's a fact, Faise.
Exactly.
Ever since I put that green light, it's been like at first it was chaotic the first 2 or 3 days because it was like cleaning out that shit. But then ever since that day, that last day where that energy was bad, it's been straight greens. Everything I do been green. Like everything we do been green since then. Like it don't matter. Like if we go to do something and they say, okay, you got to be approved, it's automatically approved. Everything is automatically, everything. It's like it don't matter what it is. It's automatically approved now. Even the videos we do, they used to fucking hold that shit before I put the green light on. Now the green light on, everything green. Everything green.
Through. That's what happens at a green light. At a green light, you don't stop. Ain't no hold up.
Yeah.
When somebody say, give me the green light, what you asking for? You asking for the go ahead.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? No blockages. There are no blockages.
Right.
Everybody is here. I'm just speaking that over you. Ain't nothing blocked in your life. Just have a pure heart.
Right.
All right? Just have a pure heart. Right. You know what you do.
Right.
Okay? Get in that closet or get in that bathroom or get up under that bed, wherever, go into that place, that dark place. All right? And the way you bring light to that dark place is if you got to cry, cry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you need to laugh the shit off, laugh the shit off. Right. Okay? If you need to come to grips with the fact that you did some shit, come to grips with the fact that you did some shit. Okay? And then when you come out of that place, you need to be like, yo, it's a new time now.
Right.
Now it's new life. Now everything is working for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've been homeless. I literally have been homeless. And you could not tell me that the world wasn't my mansion. You feel what I'm saying? You can't tell me, listen, I've slept on the shelter floor before. Around a whole bunch of other people on mats. I've been there. I've slept in my car. I was in the car for 14 hours one time because my car shut down. I was freezing. It was freezing cold. I was outside one of these females out back in like 2019, 2020. She wouldn't let me in. She wouldn't even ask her mother if I could sleep on the couch, whatever. I'm freezing in this car. I said, this gotta be what hell feel like. 14 hours straight freezing. You don't know what it's like, right? Not saying to everybody, I'm sure y'all got shit that doesn't happen in y'all. I don't know what it's like. Right. Okay. Freezing. Okay. And the whole time it's like, I just remember saying to myself, I'm all right. I'm okay. This finna pass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what this is, why I gotta go through this. It hurts. It's literally painful. Pain, like cold, start feeling like you being stabbed after. Right. That's right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this shit is literally painful. Right. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to be all right. And I was all right. I made it out of it. You feel what I'm saying? Now, everybody has their own testimony of things that you literally was like, you don't know why you have to go through this shit. But you made it out. You going through your test of Job, or you going through your other test, you going through your test of Christ, or your test of Daniel. Job wasn't the only one that got tested. You know what I'm saying? Whoever or whatever you are, whenever that was, you made it out. Look at where you at now. Now, look, you could literally be homeless right now. Let me tell you something. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? You could be in the mansion right now. I ain't been there. Tell me about it. Tell me how that feels. You could have abundance right now. Okay, tell people how that feels. Okay, you could be like, okay, struggling. All right, tell people how that's like. Tell your story and be proud of that. That's literally this whole realm that you've been in for however long it's been here. Okay, is a storybook. Your story matters, or we not experiencing you. When you go look up what the population of the planet is, your number is in there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You understand? Even right now, we're doing a fundraiser. I say, let's raise $144,000. I still ain't even spoke on where we at right now because God is amazing. And we're truly blessed, okay? Meaning be less of our issues and our problems. You ain't gonna have them. Understand? Because once we get this raised up, 144,000, when we get there, it's a whole nother weapon. By April, we'll have it. Now watch this. If you send anything, whatever the amount is, your number in there.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? When you see how when the masses come together, certain things get done. You are one of those people that contributed to whatever that mass was.
Right.
Are you with me? So no more negative self-talk. You got your green light, let it glow. If you need to know your tones you can play, you can go Dr. York meditation music. I can tell you from experience, these demonic beings do not like his voice, and they don't like his meditation music. Why am I saying that? Because I have many a nights battled demons that came into my dream or my astral plane, and when I got back over, they wouldn't leave me alone. I put on them tones, and I ain't even have to fight them motherfuckers no more.
Right.
Dr. York meditation. Take my word for it or don't. Right? But go listen to it, play it in your home. You can play his teachings all day throughout the day. It don't matter. Sometimes it ain't about what somebody is saying. It's about the fact that that person is saying it.
Right.
Somebody needed to hear that, okay? Because they don't want you to know that. You know what I mean? Anybody could have been teaching anything. It's because of the tone that was coming through. That's why in the Amam, Ancient Mystic Order of Melchizedek meditation that you will find on YouTube, he says, listen to my voice. There's truth in my voice alone. My voice alone. When Jesus spoke with authority, that command, that's his voice alone. The energy that we come with, the essence that we come with is like, you know what the fuck you're dealing with. I know it might be overbearing, but you know what you're dealing with. And that's truth. And truth is truth. They don't have no time to conform to your belief system. So you can play the meditation music. I'm almost done. Yeah, let me get in a few more pieces.
Wait.
Gospel, upbeat gospel. All right. Some people like gospel. Yes, gospel. Play your upbeat gospel. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like negative energy is in your home, you need to get back to every Sunday playing the music that your ancestors used to play. You need to get back to that. For those of you who it's for, this may not be for everybody. Okay? But I'd rather you be playing that on Sunday than playing what's on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Play the gospel music upbeat in your homes. All right? Stray away from all the drill and the heavy metal. When I tell people to do the fast, which we got another one coming this month, when I tell people we going on these fasts, one of the things I tell them to cut out during that fast is drill music, heavy metal music, rock music, all that. These things literally attack your being.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're disharmonious frequencies, and they were intended to do just that, attack. You understand? Or cause people to be heavier. Are you with me? So if you got other feelings, oh, this is a demon in my home, or this is a negative energy, whatever you want to call it, a Jan, all right? Something's off. Open windows.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's as simple as literally open windows.
Mm-hmm.
Open a window and command it out, right? Sometimes you got to open the door, open all the windows, and say, I don't know who you are. I don't know who sent you, but you cannot stay here.
Go ahead.
I don't know how you got in here, but you cannot stay here. And do you know that they can't stay?
Right.
Because you've already acknowledged and took command over whatever that essence or being was. Right. Now, if they pull to stay, they'll stay. Another thing I'll advise, and I don't want to confuse anybody, so I ain't going to go too deep into this side. Right. I'll advise that you ask who it is. That's for certain people. It's not for others. Who are you? Some people, their hair get to standing up when they think of that. That ain't for you. It's only for the people who are able to stand there like that. Who are you? Because last thing you want to do is tell one of your ancestors to get the fuck out. You got there $1 million you asked for, but 6 you won't leave, motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? You don't want to tell your ancestors to get out. You know what I'm saying? So you open the windows and throwing grandmama out. She ain't dead shit. She's just trying to help you. You know what I mean? So another gem is not for everybody. It's only for who it's for. If you think about it and it make you shut up, it ain't for you. If you think about it and it's like, damn, that makes sense. That was for you. Okay? Ask who it is because you don't want to put somebody out that's going to help you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Last thing you want is a well damn response. Well damn. You don't want that. You want the motherfucker okay, I can't stay here because this frequency has risen because this person has no fear. All right? Some of y'all got to call on the power of Jesus, whatever you got to do. But you can literally usher energy out of your home. All right? How your grandmothers used to do. Okay? Or your grandfathers used to do. All right? Last few things, get your sage. You can burn it. You burn it, your Palo Santo, whatever. Get that. You can burn it in the home. You can do the laughter. You can watch comedy. watch stand-up comedy. These are ways you literally raise the frequency of the environment that you're in. You can get your amethyst, all right? Literally crystals, you can get amethyst, you can put it in the sun, charge it up, all right? And then wear it on the body, wear it on your chest, all right? If you have the mechanism, you can, the way to do it, you can wear it on your crown, all right? Or put it in your pocket, or rest with it. That's what my Oma used to teach me to do, because every time I came back, I told about somebody I was fighting. She's like, you need your amethyst. She used to give me amethyst, and it'll help these beings stay away from me because of the frequency. But you got to charge it, though. You can't just get a crystal. You have to charge it. You understand? Because when you charge it, it helps increase the integrity of the magnetic field of whatever that crystal is. And the last two things I'll tell you to do, one is you get salt. If you're really dealing with some demonic forces and you feel like there's attacks coming to your family or yourself or it's pending, you get salt. A literal, what is this shit? The Morton, what the fuck you call it? The Morton salt, whatever. Go get some salt, sea salt, whatever. Go outside your home and empty the shit around your home. Make a circle. All right? Form a circle around your home. If you're in an apartment, it might be a little difficult. What you can do is you can align the salt in front of your door. All right? And put it in your windowsill. Okay? Your intention is what's going to charge the salt anyway. But this is one of the ways you can form a protective circle that has to make an imprint. Because mentally, again, you're connected. There is no distinguishment between thought and matter. Mentally, you done already opened up a door for protection to be able to exist at that point. So if you feel like you need to be protected or closed off from whatever these negative forces are, okay, one of the ways to do it is you literally pour salt around your home. Or another advanced mechanism or method is to take chalk and draw it around your home. That's a whole different level. But you can take chalk and literally draw it around your home. You understand? And the last thing I'll tell you is the water jugs. Okay? If you feel like you're having too many sleep paralysis experiences, drink more water before you go to rest. Drink more water. Turn on 528 hertz or 432 hertz. Okay? And get jugs of water and place them near your bed. If you lay on the floor, it'd be around your body. Okay? If you lay on a bed, you put them at the foot of your bed, one at each leg. Okay? And if you want to go more advanced, you just put them, fill up in these places in between. But the water wards these beings off. I'm an astral projector. I do this shit all the time. Can't nobody tell me shit about it. And what I have observed is demons ain't always fucking with you from the outside. Sometimes certain beings are got inside of you. All right. And you don't know that they're there. They refer to as astral parasites. Okay. I done dealt with all kind of worm-like beings or whatever. Sometimes you're dealing with beings that are literally inside of you. If you have the ability to pay attention to what I'm saying, reach out of your body with your astral body during those sleep paralysis moments or whatever you go through, and stick your hand in one of those jugs of water that's near your body. What will happen from experience, I'm telling you this, the water will literally stream into your body, and whatever or whoever is plaguing you at that time will have to be cleansed out. They don't like water.
Right.
All right. So look, that's just to answer the question we asked last time of how to ward off demons. Psychic defense, we went over all different things, how to make sure you're not beating yourself up, how you can war with yourself and make sure that you showing up for you and don't negative self-talk. This should have been enough to give you some type of understanding of what psychic defense is. If you want more, you can go read the Holy Tablets. I think the Brother Young Elder has a link for it. Go read the Holy Tablets. Go directly to chapter 7, all right, which is El Hayy, which is the living soul. Okay, or the Hayat, the life force, which is the living soul. Okay, tied to the living soul. Go read the living soul, and Malachi York breaks down more about the self and the psychic defense and psychic self-defense and how to consciously make that a part of your everyday life, how to defend yourself every day.
Right.
Are you with me? Other than that, one more thing is just for the people who are here, if you don't have the books, okay, I speak more about this in the book of Rehab. Okay, the book Rehab. You get the book by sending a donation to Play for Change Cash App, PlayForChange. Okay, send your email with the donation. And if you already have the books, what I'm doing now is a $144,000 fundraiser, which is supposed to go through April. All right, we've risen in public, meaning there are certain things that I'm not announcing yet because those are investments that I want to, you know what I'm saying, surprise y'all with, just so you can see how far we've come, right? In public, we've risen over $1,000. You know what I'm saying? That's since the 13th. What is it, the 13th that I did it? I think it was. Since then, we've risen over $1,000. So I appreciate everybody who's been participating and rocking up with that. Other than that, I thank y'all for tuning in, and we will be back Friday.
Yep.
For
what is hell? Yeah, people asking about that.
Okay.
We'll be like Friday 9 o'clock. I had a post and links set up by 9 o'clock tomorrow a.m. So it'll be on Instagram. Everything will be set up. I get it sent to you.
That's a bet.
And also, like, say if y'all want to just show Faise some love, we got about maybe like 700 people in here. Everybody send them $1 right now, man. That'll get them closer to that number. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna hurt you to send them $1. You know what I'm saying? You want to send $5, that's even better. $10, we take 100. Shit, if you want to show us some love. Now, and like I say, the Cash App is right here on the screen post right now. You're looking at the Cash App right there. Play for change. And as we do always, you know what I'm saying? Assalamu alaikum, shalom alaikum. Peace be unto you. Hotel. Divine love throughout the boundless universe to all.
Why do?
Why do?